Congrats on being first. How are you doing, my love? Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Thank you for the happy anniversary. I'm here. I have ice cream. My cat is staring at my back with violent intent. I'm doing alright. I'm doing pretty well. Pretty sleepy. But I feel prepared. I have a plan. I have a structure. And I have Jamie Page. Holy shit, open Twitch less than 1 minute into stream. Hey, nice, Aku! Welcome in! How are you doing, bud? It's so good to see you! We might play Silk Song this stream. Not 100% sure, but depending on how much energy I have after we finish the planned activities. Doing fine? Glad to hear. Is your stomach feeling better? I imagine so, since it's been a hot minute, but I want to ask, just to be safe. Responsibility free for the weekend? That's awesome! Oh, it's so satisfying when you get Friday off, too. No longer sick, responsibility free Friday through Sunday. That is amazing. You definitely deserve it. Welcome in, Z! How is your 6 p.m. going? Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, okay, before I put maid dress debut. Have to do like one thing. Fuck yeah. Hi Twilight. I have maid dress debut in my title first, but I actually have something else to show you first. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for ads to wrap up, and then we're gonna get started. At least one thing that's not D&D, and that's no responsibility. Yeah! Well, I'm gonna have D&D on Saturday if Best Buy stops holding Pichu's PC fucking captive. Twilight, what are you doing? Yeah. Hopefully I have D&D Sunday. Yay! Which campaign is that? Remind me. Oh, is that the one where you were having trouble getting your players to, like, do things? Hi, Emerald! Good to see you! Yeah. I am wishing you luck, my guy. Alright, my friends. Hello. Oh, what? Oh, that's the... Duh, hang on. Okay. Hello, my name is Vasilia. It is my affiliate anniversary. It was my affiliate anniversary 9 days ago. Oh, a person left and then one joined your campaign? Ooh. D&D drama's crazy to me, because I've only played D&D with 2 groups, and there's been no drama in either. Well, there's been no D&D related drama in either. In the first one. And there's been no drama in the second one. So I'm like, happy affiliate anniversary, thank you so much! But yeah, it was my affiliate anniversary 9 days ago. I got sick as fuck, and ended up needing to take a break, but during that time, I was able to get a lot of stuff done. Not really drama, just they weren't doing anything. Happy belated Annie. Thank you so much, Ozio! Also, good to see you! How's your puppy? I hope they're doing really well. Happy anniversary, thank you, Emerald! So, as you can see, so first thing I wanted to show you, as part of the art show anniversary celebration, is that I fully updated my rigging. I redid it. Improved physics, improved mouth rigging, improved head turn. But you probably can't see a difference, and that's totally fair, which is why oh my gosh, I have brought my friend to help. Oh, she's half cut off. I brought my friend to help us learn the difference. So, if you look at our side turn here, you can see that, the mouth, when it moves, The movement is a lot more neutral and natural. She's very talkative and loud. That's the best kind of pupper. But as you can see, the eyes move a little bit more accurately. The hair also is just like a smidge more natural. You can also see that when the body turns to the left, the shoulders look a little more pulled back, like my posture looks like it's standing up a little straighter. And the part that I'm most excited about, I have a bigger head turn on the y-axis now. I look further up and I look further down, and it looks really smooth. And also, I have much better angry expressions now. Ah! I can make this face. Like, my awkward smile that I do in real life, like, my model can match it now. I can go. You know, like, yeah, really fucking nailed that, on the re-rig. Yeah, you can really see it on the downturn. Like, that's gonna be perfect for Celeste. You're so right, Aku. You know what? I should play, maybe I'll play Celeste at the end of the stream if I have energy. So yeah, that is, my updated rigging for the body, the head turn, everything. It is, I think, much more dynamic. And again, the mouth is just much more accurate. It's much more true to life. Yeah. And, yeah, your expressions are very cute. And yeah, the ears also just look better when they're in their expressions and they're turning, and I did it, using less work, too, so that's really good. And I'll even before you play Celeste and you do, just, like, spam DM me till I'm in chat. Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Aku. So, that is, thing number 1. The second thing is, of course, wait, how do I clear items? Remove all items from scene. Select. Unload model. The second thing is, 1 second, let me turn on a new channel point redeem. And you guys may notice that if you look in your channel points that you see a brand new redeem. What's that? What's that? Oh my gosh. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't think you are, cause it's a Twilight! It's a Twilight! Meow. So, as you can see, I have made my baby girl Twilight into a VTuber model. She is very, very cute. Hi, wifey! It's so good to see you! But yeah, as you can see, I have made my darlingest baby girl kitty cat into a VTuber model. And, she can talk. She, looks around. She has a really cute little looping idle animation I made. It's only about 12 seconds long. So I do want you guys to tell me if you feel like it's looping too quickly, then I will extend her idle animation to be a little bit better, or a little bit more varied, but we currently have our baby girl. And yes, the outfit change. That is the next thing on our agenda. So, as you can see, I have also, as those of you who've been here the past couple days, you know that I, switched, face tracking softwares, because I was able to get, I just like it more. Sorry, I love making that face with my VTuber model. I can't believe I can make that face like that. It's so cute. So, as, hey Willow! You came just in time! But yes, you guys can make Twilight say what your heart desires. I'm not going to have her on all the time. She's mostly going to be here for our art streams so that, she can, help me out with, what are the words? She's mostly going to be here for art streams and stuff. That's, like, so that when I'm looking away from the screen, you guys can still talk to me. Things like that. Happy anniversary, Twilight! Yes, my baby girl! My baby girl! I love her so much. I love her so much. The real thing is not in my room because I yelled too much. I got excited and I yelled too much. But next is, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the thing that's in the title that Aki redeemed channel points for? Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2. Oh wait, watch this. Watch what it does when it switches to the toggle too. I added a little physics reaction. Okay, ready? It's so cute. Look at my stupid fucking hat. Look at my stupid hat. I love it so much. And there's hearts. There's hearts all over it. And the hat is so good. It is a maid, and I look so cute. I look so cute. And guys, look what the legs do. It's very slight, but like it's pretty realistic. And then, like, look at how realistic the leg movement is, guys. Like, you really see her shifting her weight from leg to leg. And yeah, just hee. It looks amazing. It looks very popular. I know! And yeah, I am so proud of this stupid hat. Doing the physics for this was so much harder than it needed to be, just to make it fucking, like, it's real! And also, actually, Willow, since you know what this is for, give me a number 1 through 10. My dearest Willow, give me a number 1 through 10. 7? Perfect. All right. I have to adjust one thing to carry out that number because, my keys are a little bit funky. Let's see, oh, you know what's funny? It was actually already set to 0.7. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready, chat? I think you might have seen it, but I didn't know. All right. I can become a little guy! There was a bit of spoiler, yeah. But I become a little guy! Small. And actually, if you guys want to see, what it looks like full, accurate size change, if you want to see how much smaller it actually is like this. And also, it does work with the maid dress. Boink, boink. Can I take a moment to show you guys what I had to do in, Live 2D to make this work? Gonna go into VC, so family, if you see Celeste. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you very much. But yeah, would you guys like to see what I had to do in V2 in Live 2D to make this work as part of the art show? If not, I understand, because I have realized that over the past couple weeks of me making this toggle and learning new things about face tracking software and stuff, that, the more I try to explain to my friends, the less they understand me. Yeah, and I do not blame them at all. Just, okay, alright, my friends. Oh, and one more reveal. So those of you who know me, who were here for the normal anniversary, you know that, we partially made this model so that some of our alters could stream, and one of the alters that has specific plans to stream, rather than, like, just kind of showing up every now and then, is Nave, and she really liked the model, but she hadn't streamed yet, and it had been a month, and so we were like, hey, why haven't you really wanted to? And we realized that, you know, she kind of wanted a model that felt more like herself. So, I took a couple of hours, and I did a very similar reformatting to what I needed to do for the chibi model, and now we have... Ah! She's so cute! This is not really what Nave looks like in our head, but it is kind of like a Hizui and Zorua skin, for our model, because she's a Hizui and Zorua in our head, so. She is the cutest thing ever. So, She says hi and that she will be doing Stardew Valley streams because she feels more like herself and more like she can represent herself accurately on stream. She's very excited. So, the main difference is that you might not notice from afar, but do very much contribute to the vibe, are that we got rid of the flashy eyelashes, and some of the accents on the side tails, so you can see that the ones right below the jawline and our along with our eyelashes just get zapped. Along with some of the other color changes, and also an appreciation for her eyes, which she designed herself. Very cute. Yeah. I am very proud of this. And also, actually no, that's it. So, now, I would love to show you guys, let's see, we should keep the maid dress on. I would love to show you guys, what we got going on here. Also, it's kind of funny because, in VTube Studio, you can just, like, automatically move your model around. You can't do that yet in Nizima, but I'm hoping they'll add it soon. That's two of my, like, 3 main criticisms. Anyway, so, time to show you guys what exactly we had to do. And I can also compare it to the old model to show you guys the precise differences and stuff like that. Oh my god, I look so- sorry, I keep getting distracted. I look so cute! I look so cute! Oh, look at my girl, look at my girl! Added chain gems to the earrings and choker. Yes! Because, the apron covered it up, and so, what we have instead is, just like you said, we have, we have Aaron's, we have my gem on the neck, and we have the other gems on the earrings, and as you can see, the earrings are really true to real-life physics and gravity. Yeah, I picked the, like, generic, non-English accent one. None of the voices really suit her. Part of me wanted to see if I could use Miku, but I couldn't figure it out. But, LOL. Rip. I know, right? But, it's good. So, as you can see here, we have, this is the current rig that I have loaded up right now, and this is the rig that I debuted, on, well, debut day. Go figure. So, please move. Please work. So, the main thing that you will probably notice is that my deformer hierarchy is different in a lot of places. Like, when it came to resizing the chibi toggle for the model, you'll notice that in this version, I used a lot of rotation deformers. And not a whole lot of, warp deformers, which are the green ones. Whereas here, I pretty much entirely used warp deformers to resize things for the chibi version of the model. The reason for that being that when you put, something into a rotation deformer, the warp deformer above it no longer warps the art meshes inside of it. It just rotates the rotation deformer. So that ends up not actually really being the best method a lot of the time. So fix that. I also just overall changed my deformer hierarchy to be more accommodating to, changing the proportions to become the chibi model, as well as adding, outfits later down the line. So let's see, let's show you one of the deformers that I had to change, the most for the chibi model. Because this setup is really interesting. So, we have so you see that I have some of these, deformers called body part XY chibi. And what that means is that it covers both the X and Y movement, it covers the X and Y movement both in the normal mode and in the chibi mode. Because, as you can see, the deformer itself, when it goes from normal to chibi, squishes down, but the arm itself also changes shape a little bit. And that's because, you can see, independently of the deformer warping it, you can see that the arm becomes straighter and it has less shape to it. The same thing happens to the legs because, you know, a lot of the time when you draw little chibi models, the legs kind of have that, like, stubby, cartoony look, whereas when you go for the more realistic effect, the legs have, like, curves and stuff to them. So, again, as well as just moving the warp deformer that is inside, and shrinking it down, we have also edited the mesh itself to just straighten out, stretch out in the middle so that it goes straight up and down. Oh yeah, you can also see here we have a different, bodice version, mostly for Knave's model, but yeah. So, for Knave's model, we largely just changed the colors of our art meshes using this feature, the multiply and screen color effect. So as you can see here, the multiply color is black and the screen color is that really lovely dark red. And if we go back to default, the multiply color is white, which is nothing according to the computer, and the screen color is black, which again is nothing according to the computer. So we did that. We also added a new, this though is its own brand new texture that is clipped onto all of the dress layers below it. Let's see. As well as making some of these, as well as making like this layer just becomes invisible on Knave's toggle along with the eyelashes. And the really nice thing is, because the only new texture I added was the new dress, and everything else was just thrown into, didn't have its own, deformer, all I had to do to make Chibi Knave was turn the Chibi toggle on, and it was done. So, so from now on, I will be able to add new outfits and all sorts of things with very minimal re-rigging, in comparison to the old model. The most exciting part is the new way that I have learned to rig mouths for a V-Bridger / AR kit. So for people who don't actually know what V-Bridger is a line of communication between VTube Studio and ARKit tracking, or NVIDIA RTX tracking, which technically expresses itself in a very similar way. ARKit is a program made by Apple, which measures your facial expression using 52 blend shapes. So mouth up, mouth down, mouth shrug, mouth frown, mouth smile, nose sneer, cheek squint, eye squint, eyebrow up, eyebrow inner up, like a bunch of different shapes that mean a bunch of different things. Now, VTube Studio does not use 52 blend shapes, and you'll also notice that I listed mouth frown and mouth smile separately there. Why would I do that? Why is that relevant? Because in VTube Studio, you do not have a mouth frown and a mouth smile. You have mouth form, which runs from -1 to +1. 0 being normal, -1 being frown, +1 being smile. So, in order for ARKit tracking to be fed into VTube Studio, you need to use V-Bridger to provide a line of communication. So when it gets the input +1 frown from ARKit, it runs an algorithm and then outputs -1 mouth form to VTube Studio. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. And so because of that, when you are rigging the V-Bridger mouth, you have a lot of these groups. You have a lot of these groups of deformers that need to be rigged together, and where you need to rig all of the mouth, all of these keyforms. you need to rig all of these deforms, but I also think that it really lacks the ability. So the reason I went down this whole rabbit hole is because I noticed that even though this was described to me as baring your teeth, it doesn't really bare your teeth. It just kind of opens up your lips. And I realized after studying the AR kit documentation is because, oh, it does just open your lips. That's what the mouth open thing does. To get the angry expression and bare your teeth, what you want is the sneer expression, right? And I was like, but but if I want to put that into VTube Studio using default VBridger settings, then I need to replace the mouth open parameter with the mouth sneer parameter, and I kind of wanted both. So, then I learned about Nizima Live and that they have native AR kit tracking. But then we run into the opposite problem of what I described earlier, where when you rig for VBridger, you have all those parameters that are combined with each other and stuff. So I had rigged them for VBridger, but now I didn't want them to all be together because here in Nizima Live, they are fully separated into all of their counterparts. There is no mouth press lip open parameter like in VBridger. You have mouth press and you have mouth open, and they're completely separate. And you can't just convert them over because, -1 is not equivalent to +1, obviously. And there was no way I could figure out to really perfectly get it to match over. There are some scripts that almost achieve it, but you guys know me. It needs to be perfect. It needs to be perfect. So, I took my existing mouth rig and I converted it. And I was really excited to just use a bunch of blend shapes and not have to rig individual keys, but because I have real lips and not, because I have real lips instead of just a line art and stuff, I couldn't do that. So instead I sat here by my lonesome and I individually rigged all of these things. Sat here and I individually rigged all of these things, and it took a very long time, but it was mostly copy and pasting from my old rig, but I did have to manually rig some things. So doesn't improve the workflow for models with big lips, but as you can see, does create very, very, very accurate mouth tracking. I love the flexibility. The flexibility that having all of these things on their own parameters provides is really nice when it comes to setting up your parameters in your actual face stroking program. Now, what happens when you have a model that doesn't have full lips that interfere with the blend shapes? Well, I have Mr. Mask Medi here to help me out. Last night I worked on him before going to bed, and with the new workflow, where I use blend shapes and I do not individually rig all of the keyforms, it only took me 2 hours. Those of you who have watched me do VBridger, you've seen me do it once on stream. Oh no, you see me do it twice on stream. It took me... Alec, you need to stop showing up to my streams and only talking to me about the fishing thing. If you want to play it that badly, you can pay $8 to get it off of Steam. Worked off it as an understatement, yeah. When you, so I didn't have to individually rig a bunch of, keyforms. So I was able to do this in 2 hours. Less than 2, probably. 2 hours if you include me doing a bunch of nitpicks where I said Betty, hey, doesn't this look better? And Betty was like, I don't notice a fucking difference. And I was like, awesome! Genuinely awesome, because if you don't notice a difference, that means it doesn't look worse. As you can see, we have our mouth open, our mouth closed, and then we have where the lips press open even more. We have a frown, we have a smile, and again, the blend shapes do all the work for me. And because he only has line art and very minimal lip color, there's very little minimal adjustment. The only deformer, the only parameters that I found I could not reliably use blend shapes on, where it just kind of automatically calculates what it'll look like instead of having me manually rig it and tell the computer, was the mouth funnel parameter, which does this. But luckily I didn't have to manually rig a shit ton of things because of it. I only had to manually rig the mouth funnel with the jaw closed, then with the jaw open, and now, as you can see, all the other blend shapes work just fine. And again, all I did to make these blend shapes work was, with the mouth looking just like this, I made it frown, and then I made it smile. Everything else, the way it looks when the jaw is open, the way it looks when the lips are pressing together, the way it looks when the mouth is funneled, all of that was done automatically for me by the computer, and it still looks fantastic. So I am unbelievably ecstatic about the fact that I can do things this way now. And so it's unbelievable. It is so exciting. And, but then the question after that becomes, how are you going to plug that into VTube Studio and VBridger? Default VBridger cannot handle all of these, separate parameters. It just doesn't let you, but if you use developer VBridger, you can create your own input-output parameters that perfectly match these. It does, unfortunately, then require much more setup in VTube Studio, because where in Nizima, it gives me all of these ARKit parameters, I would have to make these... I will say this and then repeat it again when people come back from us. I will have to individually make these in VBridger, and then I'll have to individually make them in VTube Studio, but I should only need to do that once, and then I will have a VBridger preset ready for me to reuse however I want, and then I will have a model setup that I can copy in VTube Studio for my clients, so I can send them a zip file that not only has their model in it, but also has their model set up for them in both VBridger and VTube Studio, so they can get right to just calibrating their, they can get straight to just calibrating, their model instead, to really match their face, to, maybe match their lighting setup, and they don't have to worry about making new parameters or anything like that. So basically the last 2 weeks of me re-rigging my model has not only paid off visually, but it's also paid off in terms of the knowledge that I have now and the things that I can do for future clients. So I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And look at my girl. She's so cute. Look at her little hip sway. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it has been an adventure. I am very, very glad that you guys have enjoyed your time with me. Although, actually, that does remind me, one thing I did want to add to my maid toggle. Hang on, I wanted to. Oh well, part of me doing work during my art show stream, but it'll look cool, I promise. Hang on, look at this, look at this, look at this. So, I'm gonna do this to the ears later. So, if I take my... Hang on, I can't see my screen because my phone's in the way. Ah! If I make it so that when her head tilts, it, like, drags itself down the way that it does when the X-physics are done, then it kind of looks like it's flopping down as with gravity as her head tilts over. And then on top of that, when the physics happen, it'll and then on top of that, when the physics happen, it'll go down even further. Looks so stupid. Amo, adoro, necesito, hermosa, poder son bello. Aw, gracias! Lemmy, you are the best. Muchas gracias. But yes, that concludes my portion of our art show. For Freedom from ads. Welcome in. Okay, so basically what I was saying was that it is a cat, and you can make her talk! El gato habla inglés y español. I think she speaks Spanish. I think you can get the text-to-speech bot to speak Spanish. Gato! Sí! It is my cat. I made her into a VTuber model, and you can make her talk. But yes, what I was saying before ads cut me off was that, as you can see in Nizuma Live, it gives you all of the deformers you need for it to handle all of those new mouse parameters that I made. But VTube Studio doesn't have these, and neither does default VBridger. But in the developer DLC for VBridger, which only costs $16 additional, you can make all of the parameters that you need, and then subsequently make them in VTube Studio, which is a lot of work, but I'll only have to do it once, and then I can copy-paste my settings, and then I can also ship them off to clients that way. So then my clients won't need to do as much work with their model once I've handed it off to them. Now, the new app. The new app is crazy. Nizuma Live, it uses 1/3 of the CPU that VTube Studio does, which is not a dunk on VTube Studio. VTube Studio is fantastic. It is very optimized. It's just, this is even more impressive. They're both incredibly impressive, but this is more impressive. But it is newer than VTube Studio, and it does have some things that it is completely missing. Unlike in VTube Studio, you cannot make new parameters normally natively in this client. You have to make them using plugins, and not all plugin parameters show up in this menu and permit you to adjust their input curves, which is a huge bummer. But you know, I'm sure they're planning on adding that soon. You also cannot do what you can do in VTube Studio, where you can press a hotkey and have your model move to a specific position. Oh my god. Which is a bummer. And, let's see, what's the other, I mentioned this last stream. I had another thing that I was like, adding this would be a real big lifesaver. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that is a-okay. It's a fantastic app. I'm very, very happy with it. But yeah, so to recap for people who were not here, we have a chibi toggle. We have a non-chibi version of our gorgeous, gorgeous maid dress. The maid dress has, instead of the belt, we have earrings and a choker that show our altars. Can you have PNG items? Yes, you can! You unfortunately cannot have, as far as I'm aware, you cannot currently have other models as items the way that you can in VTube Studio, and you can't do TTS pets, so I currently have just Twilight open in VTube Studio, and this open in Nizuma Live. I did check, this does still save CPU usage compared to me loading both Twilight and Basilia in VTube Studio, which feels a little counterintuitive because I now have 3 whole apps open instead of just 2, the text-to-speech one and my face tracking software, but I'm not complaining. But yeah, I have very cute earrings. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have cute earrings and a choker. My earring textures are in the wrong order. I'll fix that later. My hat has very silly physics. And yeah, the ears are so gorgeous. Thank you! Yeah, I'm really glad that with the new haircut, holy shit, this looks fire. It does! But yeah, I'm really glad that with the new haircut, you can really fully see the ear rigging, because, in non-maid, it is hidden. It's just fully gone. Which is understandable, but, you know, yeah. So I'm glad that you guys can see the full beauty of my satellite dish ears. Thank you so much, Chaos! Oh yeah, and then I improved my breathing, like, idle animation. We're gonna go back to maid very quickly, because kind of the point of this stream is maid dress, but you can see that, when the body goes up, the hair kind of squishes down. I think that gives it, like, a nice extra, floaty effect. So, Yeah, and then also, if people would like a closer look at El Gato. Aki, yes, my gato. She's very, very cute. And yeah, you can make her speak through the text-to-speech cat, through the text-to-speech bot, so... Yes! She is. Yes, she's very, very cute. You use a channel point to redeem, my dearest Lumi. You can't hear it? Oh. Oh, she's been working for me off stream. Aw, you know what I bet it is? It is that alert sound, glow to Twilight audio. There it is. Do I need to hit control audio? No. That's problematic. Aww. But you can see her mouth moving, so that means... Okay. Maybe I need to... Hang on, my connections... Captured. Hey, you guys wanna... Let's look at this together. Let's look at this together, chat. Let's see, Hell rate hotkeys, audio, select audio source. Uh-oh. Oh! What? Audio capture, select VTS POG audio player on application I did! Oh no, I did application audio capture. I have to do normal application capture? Is that what it is? I do have a separate sound source, but it looks like I made it the wrong one. That's not working. So I have to find the one... So I have to find the one that tells me VTS POG audio player, so... Because right now I have an audio application title, and yeah. So I tried window capture, that wasn't it. Media source? No, that's not, well, no, maybe it is. Sorry, chat, you guys have been reading that all stream and I thought you could hear it. Is it this? Would it be a Basil stream without Scuff? I say no, and so does, I think, everyone else. See, I don't think it's media source, but I'm open. It's definitely not a browser source. Oh, maybe it's audio output capture? No. Is it really a Basil stream without the Scuff? You don't remember the source type? Yeah, I'm stumped. I'm stumped. I mean, it can't be this because this requires me to just go through my file explorer. So there's no way that's right. I mean, unless I need to go through my program files, find VTS pod. But I'm very glad that you guys seem to still be having a great time. Actually, so while I'm sorting this out, I do want to say, just, as always, thank you guys so much. Your support means everything to me. I cannot believe that I can actually make income from doing this, and it really is just fully changing my life. I can, yeah. It's just everything about this is unbelievable to me. And I'm so excited to keep making models for you guys and keep expanding our little community. Once I sort this out, we're gonna get started on the community art show, which Riker, Willow, and Emerald submitted to, which I'm very excited for. So, and then also, as we kind of became a tradition, I'm also going to show you guys some of my art pieces. Running back to high school, because why not? Because before I drew anime girls for a living, or not really for a living, it's not really a career. Before I drew anime girls, I did, I was a hardcore realism girly. Hardcore realism girly. Okay, so output means... What if I do something stupid? What if I do this? No, because then I won't be able to hear it. OBS audio capture. Select VTS Pog. Hang on, I'm just gonna Google it. What's wrong with me? Why am I sitting here trying to... VTS Pog audio capture. What's wrong with me? The VTS Pog, you can change to which source it will output, selecting the output device to be used. See, but there's a difference between changing what source is outputting to and changing where I hear it. Oh my god, what? No, this isn't! Does it have to be original art? Have a drawing with... No, it doesn't have to be original art. It can be literally anything. It can be a doodle you did on a napkin when you were 5, and I would love to look at it and yap about it. Because something that I think is the thing that that people got the most out of the last art show was talking about how even in a drawing that doesn't look quote-unquote good, you can still see where somebody understands one out of the several art fundamentals, because that's the interesting thing, is like the biggest one that leaves people's art looking quote-unquote bad for a while is their understanding of value. But often when you look at somebody's art, even when their values are totally off, there's too much line art, it's a little bit hard to see. You can see, is their understanding of color good? Is their understanding of proportion good? Is their ability to draw what they're seeing and not what they think they're seeing being developed? Because actually I was talking about that with Medis the other day. Drawing hands is really difficult, but the reason it's difficult is actually mind over matter, because if you look at a hand and you really just think of it as, you know, a set of lines of a collection of shades and highlights, as opposed to worrying about, oh my god, there's 5 fingers, I have to draw all 5, it becomes significantly easier because you're not freaking yourself out about it anymore. Okay, so I want to, are you guys willing to like troubleshoot with me for a sec? Because I am pretty confused about what this is going to combine itself into doing. Oh, nope, that's still not working. Awesome! What the fuck? What the fuck? What? I finished the work in progress set. Ooh, awesome! So, like, does this just hate me now? Like, do I need to actually use the window capture? And not... Window capture? No. Oh, yep, there it is. And you have to use the window capture, and it makes a silly... Okay, that's really funny. You guys can see it. It just makes a little thing. Okay, I will put this below my overlay and then hide it. But now my question is, because I've output it to my headphones, okay, so as you can see here, I'm muting my music source for you guys. Does it come through here? No, it doesn't. And then, okay, so now you can hear music again. But if I have her talk, is it gonna come? What? Oh, it's not. Hang on. I forgot I have to click capture audio. I'm stupid. Okay, so now it shows up here. But does it?
Hi chat, I love you.
So I can still hear it in my headphones. You guys can hear it now. And it's not interfering with my music. Okay, troubleshooting done. Text-to-speech cat works. Thank you guys so much for being patient.
We can hear it. Meow. Yorking Pinar.
You guys are the best.
YIPP. We.
I hit enter.
Basil is so pretty and cool and has a huge pinar.
Yeah, you know I do. You know that's right. I have the prettiest and the hugest pinar. And I'm so good at using technology. But yeah, that concludes my portion of the art show for now until we start going through my old artworks from before the Basil times. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Your mom can confirm that fact. Hell yeah, brother!
You guys will never believe what Basil did to my mom.
I love that this is my legacy. Can I just say, I think that it is genuinely impressive that I managed to become the Your Mom guy in a community of marching band adults and the VTubing community. Like, that's kind of impressive, because everyone makes Your Mom jokes, but the fact that, and the fact that people are clearly, I mean, I might be wrong, maybe you guys are making fun of me and I'm just not picking up on it because autism, but I really do feel like,
Robert,
you guys are
I
laughing
don't like
with
this
me.
rock. Robert, it's pissing me off.
Wifey, what's that a reference to? That sounds like a reference, I just don't know what to, and I want to hear it. I want to know, because that sounds hilarious. Also, okay guys, are you ready for the community art show? Thank you to everybody who submitted. You guys are the greatest. It's a reference to Marcus, a strange VR chat character. Marcus, the fuck-ass worm who uses text-to-speech. That sounds amazing. Thank you for exposing this to me, genuinely. Right, let's close Live 2D so my computer doesn't crash. Oh yeah, and then also, just to show you guys, actually, one more time. You guys can tell I used to want to be a band director because I always say one more time and I never mean it.
South Carolina is gone.
But yeah, as you can see, like, even though text-to-speech is just running even though VTube Studio is really just running a text-to-speech pet, it still is usually above Nizima Live in CPU usage. That and the times it goes above Nizima Live in usage, it is by more than Nizima Live gets ahead of VTube Studio. Like, when Nizima Live gets ahead of VTube Studio is usually by, like, 5% max. When VTube Studio spikes over Nizima Live, it's usually by, like, 10%. Like 8 to 10, like 5 to 10%, kinda. So yeah, very impressive work on the Nizima Live team, but again, that is not me dunking on VTube Studio. VTube Studio, as far as I'm aware, is made by one developer. Nizima Live is made by the same company that makes Live 2D. It is a giant corporation, or a relatively large corporation, so, like, yes. Major respect to the person / people behind VTube Studio. Because again, VTube Studio has a lot more integration and a lot more features. It just happens to be that the one feature that Nizima Live has that VTube Studio doesn't is one that I care a lot about having. Yeah, but absolutely never a diss on VTube Studio. VTube Studio is absolutely amazing. There is a reason that VTube Studio is still used over Nizima Live, despite Nizima Live being made by the same people that make Live 2D. There's a very good reason for that. I'm a very particular case as for why I'm using Nizima. Do not take me using Nizima as me being like, you guys have to use this, because, like, no, I'm using it for a really, like, particular reason. Alright, art show time! Ah! Oh my gosh! Whoa! Oh my gosh! Wait! Chaos, did you trace over this at all? Did you trace over the reference at all? Either on a separate sheet of paper or on this sheet of paper? Genuine question. Because I would say this looks like you, gives me the impression. Did Trace just looked at it? Because when I do stuff like this, when I'm trying to recreate somebody else's like line art instead of interpreting like someone else's line art, like copying lines into my version of the lines instead of copying from a reference photo, I always find myself needing to trace over it once on another piece of paper before I try to draw it on my own sheet of paper. So I'm very impressed by this. Yeah, your understanding of like proportions is really well shown here. Yeah, like you even got the textures right, even though you were clearly the original artwork was done using either a brush pen or just using pens of varying thickness. You were using a pen and a pencil that had a uniform weight the whole time, and you still like successfully recreated all the different line weights and all the different textures and stuff. That is awesome. Congratulations, dude. Yeah, no, being able to do this without having traced it at all before or after is very impressive, and it also looks like you use very few guidelines, and you really just drew that. That is awesome. Yeah, no, if you ever wanted to start doing your own art, you would very easily be able to pick up proportions and sort of drawing figures off of references on your own. 6 years ago? Hey! That means that all the like the spatial understandings and stuff have still been cooking in your brain and have been improving. The only thing that hasn't, because you haven't practiced it, would be the coordination between your brain and your hand. So, hell yeah. Okay, let's go to the top. Sorry, I saw that and I was just immediately like, whoa, because that impresses me. I have a really hard time recreating like line art things, like anime style art. I legitimately have an easier time copying from a photo into line art, because when you copy from a photo into line art, you're interpreting where those lines go, because this is art nerd shit, but not really art nerd shit, it's pretty surface level. You learned this in like 9th grade art, but like, you know, they posted their finished work. I wanted to look at the work in progress first just to check out the differences. Thank you so much, Willow. But you know, there's no lines in real life, right? Like when you look at an outline of an arm, it's not actually an outline. It's just a place where two different sections of values are meeting, where a patch of black and a patch of white are. You know what I mean? Kind of, if you made it a black and white photo. Not white as in Caucasian. Yeah, that's why so when I'm looking at lines and I'm just straight up recreating lines instead of kind of interpreting where they are, I find, because it's that much more precise, there's no guessing, there's no interpretation, lines are just what they are because the artist has already decided. So that's very impressive to me. There are no lines, we made them up. Yeah, no, like literally, there are no lines, we make them up. We interpret where they are for art. And that's the fun part. That's why even realism art is so fascinating, is because it is really difficult to take a 3D object and interpret it into... I mean, even cameras aren't fully accurate, right? The size of the camera is incredibly important. I was talking about this with Hune once, like, the front-facing selfie camera will never make you feel good. It will always make you feel like shit. And the reasoning is because we have two eyes, and our brain takes two images that are slightly offset from each other and combines them into one. Like, our brains take in two images, combines them, and kind of guesses what that one image would look like. And so this song is depressing as fuck. And a camera obviously only has one quote-unquote eye. Now, that can be offset by using a lens that is large enough, but your front-facing phone camera is it has a very teeny tiny little aperture, which is the opening of the lens. And so it will never make you look the way other people see you, or even the way you see yourself in a mirror. So never base your self-esteem off of the front-facing camera. Ever, ever, ever. It will destroy you. Okay, so as you can see, we have a work in progress here. We have fantastic anatomy stuff going on. My favorite thing about seeing people draw fantasy creatures is that everybody does anatomy differently. Because, you know, there aren't real mermaids, and I love hearing people debate about if elf ears were real, how would they work? If cat ears were on people, how would it work? Hey, hand was heavily reference-based. Hey, okay, here's my other fucking diatribe. Tracing / using bases is still something that requires a lot of skill, because again, it's very similar about the art, when people are like, oh, you used rotoscoping, which is when you record somebody doing a movement and you animate by drawing over each frame. A lot of people say that that's cheating or it requires less skills than normal animation, but the thing is, it doesn't, because you need to take that reference and interpret it into your art style while still maintaining the integrity of the original image, right? How often it's a little hard to find evidence of this on the internet, because nowadays people don't post quote-unquote bad art anymore, which is a bummer, because quote-unquote bad art is so important. Looking at it and analyzing it, discussing it is so incredibly important. But I mean, you can see all the time when people copy a reference, but they still don't understand it, and so they don't trace it correctly. You can trace things wrong if you do not have the skill set to actually understand what it is that you're looking at. And yeah, you can tell, like, you clearly understand what you're looking at, like this little bump in that little bump in the thing. You can tell that that's because Emerald understands that when you kind of bend your hand at that angle, this knuckle is going to pop out more than this bone will. Here it looks like a straight line, but when you tilt your hand like this to the camera, the knuckle does proceed further than the normal thing. And that you being able to display that understanding through tracing or through not tracing is fantastic. You can also see, like, here you understand, like, that there are membranes between our fingers. They don't just connect straight to the palm and not connect to each other. I love the jewelry design. I love, like, when people can freehand, like, filigree. I don't know if you freehanded this or if you did also reference the rings, but, like, I've never been able to freehand filigree and stuff like that. I also love the guidelines that you have set for yourself here with the clothing. The drape. I can see the drape here. The only thing that I don't know, this line right here, I think that this would be a straight shot down. Reference your rings with drews of filigree. Hell yeah. I think that actually here would be a straight shot. I do understand why you put this curved line here, because I think that you... Actually, no, because I think there would be a line here, but I think it would be a lot straighter. I think with the way that you have it curved, you know, if you continued this curve, it would kinda... I can't really tell where it would connect. That's the only thing I noticed with the, like, the clothing guidelines. Where I, like, that kind of leaves me with, like, a question. You know what I mean? I don't know that it's wrong, but I don't know that it's right either. Fantastic job on, him looking up and on the second set of eyes. I like the way that you place them. And yeah, like, Medi said, the tail through the leg is really nice. Because, yeah, like, it really articulates how, despite the red-haired character's torso being much smaller, because she is a non-human, human-legged, like, fantasy creature, she is still much larger. He is still much larger than the other character. Like, it really shows how, despite having a smaller upper half, that overall he still dwarfs the other character in size. So this pose is a really good way to show the differences in their statures and everything. I love that. Also, I forgot to turn the maid dress back on. That's my bad. Okay. Oh! Right! Willow and Riker submitted their pixel art. Okay, first of all, if you guys I shrunk the tail a lot, it probably wouldn't have been seen fully, otherwise that's awesome. Although, hey, things going off of the frame to imply how big they are can also be a very powerful tool. So, I am a big fan of drawing things in their entirety just to have them, and cropping it for the version I post on, like, social media. Okay, so for people who do recognize this, think they recognize this, it's because you do. Wait, hang on, is there a tool I can use to just draw on my screen? Hang on. Wait, I have a really stupid idea. Hang on. You can draw on your screen on Uzuma Live, And you can also make the window itself transparent. What if I... No, that's stupid. Anyway, I really want to draw the fins. Fuck yeah. So, for people who, I keep getting sidetracked. For people who recognize this character, it's because I have drawn this character. This is their Project Sekai OC. She is very, very precious. I love the little fangs. I kind of wish I could see more of them. The way that you drew the hair is very well done. Like, you clearly really understand how the hair is supposed to drape. I think that you actually were kind of limited by your pen here. I think there are times where I can tell that if you were able to draw this line in one fell swoop, it would have, like, this one needs to arc out a little bit more to avoid to make it look like the hair is actually originating from the scalp up here, right? It would need to swoop out here a little bit more into the pink. But I think you would have been able to do that if you had a pen that wasn't requiring you to use, like, shorter strokes and stuff. The only thing I see here that isn't, like, I think a limitation of your pen, or that isn't, like, a limitation of your pen, or, a stylistic choice, is the way that the hat lays. Because even if it was this... Draw it again, hell yeah! If it was this... Also, I know this is really old. Longer strokes in general, yeah. See, that's the hard part, is... you guys will see this when I do art, like, it's very difficult, but the way... So people ask me, how do I get my chibi line art so smooth? First of all, I have my stabilization onto 100, but that won't work for an art style like this. That only works for when I'm doing my, like, chibi line art style, which is very solid, very uniform. When I put my stabilization on digital up to about 50, but I think everyone should do that. And then obviously the motion that you do, instead of just, it's very tempting to just kind of just use your wrist, but it helps if you have the motion originate from your elbow. It's just a lot more consistent hinging here instead of hinging here. And it also gives you a wider range of motion. Like, even if you're just doing a little bit, this takes a lot less effort and a lot less focus than this. And part of it is because, actually, when you're moving your wrist like this, you're also telling your elbow not to move, which is more work for your brain. It is less work for your brain to just tell it to move its elbow and let the wrist do whatever it wants, and to tell it to move the wrist without moving the elbow. Does that make sense? And then, also, I swear to God, people don't talk about this in art classes, but it is the number one thing that has helped me when it comes to reading sheet music, drawing, conducting, anything. Don't blink. Keep your eye open when you start the line until your pen is off the paper. It is a lot of, I don't know why, but this happens to me naturally, so I can only imagine happens to other people. I have a tendency that when I start an action, I immediately blink, because I'm like, well, I started, so I can relax now. No. You watch the line, you watch your hand, you follow your hand with your eyes until the line is done and your pen is off the paper. I swear to God, no one told me that in an art class. I just had the realization one day. I was like, I need to stop fucking blinking. At the wrong time. So that's my advice for drawing smoother, longer lines in one go. Also, yeah, I know that this was spoiled because see, this is what I'm talking about with where I can tell that you do understand where the lines are coming from just because you drew it in multiple, like, quote-unquote, less confident strokes, instead of just one really confident one. It does look a little bit askew at times, but that's not a horrible thing at all. You did a really good job at really making the balloons feeling like they're floating, like you got the shape of the balloon. And I love that you can tell that they are slightly deflated, both because the string lacks a lot of tension, so it's not fully up, and but also the shape of the balloons is a little bit off of, like, the traditional. I love that. That's a very, very nice detail. The drape on this fabric is really well done, because, you know, if it didn't have these two structure lines in them, then it would look like it should just be hanging straight down, but because you added those structure lines, it's clear that the fabric is thick enough and has been folded as part of being put into this knot, so it looks like it's draping correctly. That is awesome. Also, the eyes are very cute. Okay, this looks like a like a real legit video game promo poster. Like this is like Wind Waker type like art. I also like it has like Wind Waker colors to me. And also the pulling off glowy effects in pixel art is something that I know a lot of people have a hard time with because you know, most pixel art things don't really have the ability for you to just like put a less transparent yellow pixel over a blue pixel. You have to be able to accurately pick your colors. You have to be able to look at that blue and go, well, if it had a little bit of yellow glow on it, it would get warmer, it would get lighter, but how much warmer and how much lighter? And yeah, holy shit, the texture of the water is amazing. You can really see the depth of the lake. The only, again, this isn't a criticism, this is something I want to see more of, is if you made it so that the light kind of went like this on either side, then it would get across how big the lake is. It would really get across how big the lake is. But, like, again, not a criticism. Also, Freya says hi, because Lady of the Lake arm. And again, that's not a criticism, because a lot of the time, light that passes over a lake in real life looks like this. That's kind of a cheaty 2D art thing that I'm, like, think would look really sick here, that I think would be a good effect here. But the way it looks right now is fantastic and honestly perfect. That, and I think that if you had more dark values in the trees, it would provide a really good contrast to the lake and to the sky. Right now, if you made this black and white, the background would be a little bit washed out. But again, I love this. And also, having and actually, the reason that I say that is because the darkest dark of the tree is the same as the darkest dark in the blade, actually, a little bit. So if you just made it less saturated and darker, then I think that would that would actually fix the washed out vibe. I don't think you'd need to change anything else. I just think the darkest dark being changed not to be as matched up with the blade's darkest dark would get rid of like that thing my brain is detecting. It's like, oh, it looks a little washed out, I wonder why. But I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, that's the other thing about getting good at art, is a lot of the time you can identify when something looks a certain way, but you don't know why. Like, I can identify that the background of the trees looks a little, like, not quite, I think, like, at its potential against the blade, but I don't know exactly why. I just threw out 2 different ideas, and there's definitely 5 different explanations that could apply here. So that's really cool. Oh my god, it's a Riker! Whoa! These flowers! Oh my gosh, guys, look at the subtle texturing here on the petals of the flowers. You can really tell that if you were to draw this in non-pixel form, that it would have this kind of depth to it, but it would also have, like, not the veins, like the... Not a Riker? Okay, it looks very... It's just a knight's helmet that has purple on it. Dang it. Whoa. I love the little crack in the helmet here. Or actually, is that a crack in the helmet, or is it like just a slit that if it was front facing would be a straight line across? Because if so, legally distinct Riker. Oh my god, that's crazy! I love saying legally distinct blank. This is before Riker. Hey. I love that you can really tell that this is a tassel. You can tell that this is either like a tassel of some kind or hair sticking out the back. You achieving that texturing. You can even see little flyaway hairs in there. Don't remember the intention? Okay, I was gonna say, if it should be straight across, then actually this line should go down, because you have this shadow here showing that this is at a different angle than this section of the mat thing, right? So this would actually go down and then back up instead of, like, all going straight up, like, perspective-wise, but, yeah, that's just an interesting fact. Whoa, yeah, no, your blending in pixel art is really well done. Like, your control over gradients is very impressive. Yeah, like, because, you know, you didn't just go to a lighter purple, you picked a slightly, like, warmer one so that it doesn't just look flat, it has a very bright, glowy appearance to it. Do you believe there should have been more contrast on the helmet piece? I think that it fits with the art style, but I think that more contrast would not hurt it. I think that it would, but it would also shift the vibe of the piece, because right now actually, no. That's kind of the thing I mentioned earlier, where the deepest dark of this petal, I think that if you took that deepest dark and kind of matched the value, the actual darkness, lightness value, if you're using HSV or HLV, like here around the cracks of the helmet would be a good idea. But I do also think that would shift the vibe of the piece, so I think that keeping it here is fantastic. But yeah, more contrast wouldn't hurt it, but it would also change the vibe. But yeah, no, your control over gradients is awesome. Like, your color picking, you clearly understand the nuance of going from light to dark and cool to warm, without overdoing any one thing. And this is just cool. This is just sick as fuck. That, like, all of these could and should be in actual video games, Willow. This is insane. I had no idea, like, holy shit. And yeah, and here's the thing, like, you can see where your clear understanding of color and line weights, like, comes together in these most recent drawings. Like, you can really see where, like, all of those skills are combining in these more recent drawings here at the end. Your flowers are peak. Yeah, no. Also, fun fact, I used to be obsessed with drawing roses. I would draw the same rose over and over as a kid, and it drove other people nuts. Because it was like, you're good at art, can you please draw anything other than this singular rose on literally everything? And I was like, no, I learned this from a tutorial on the internet. You know, drawing roses is a lot, and I like that you really got the, all of the individual, like, petal shapes. You didn't kind of fall into the trap of kind of just drawing the same petal shape over and over. Like, every petal is its own individual thing. The leaf is really well done. Also, wait, would you guys want to do a colored pencil stream? Because I used to primarily draw in colored pencil. Hang on. Actually, brief, hang on, let me, where's a good one? Uh-oh. I actually used to primarily draw in colored pencil, and so I can help teach some more of how to layer it a little bit differently to get it to look more vibrant and stuff. Also, okay, I can teach you for wax pencils. Oil pencils are a little bit different. And I've never used oil pencils. I want to. If I ever get back into traditional art, you will see my ass saving up for a Faber-Castell set. You will see my ass doing that. Roses are tough, and you did a fantastic job. And yeah, like, the subtle bit of orange on the very edges of the leaf, which make it have a golden glowy effect, is so, so good. And I also like that you picked a cool tone green on the inside instead of a warmer tone green, because that makes it look... I mean, it matches your character, but it also... it gives it that fantasy realm feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, that's awesome. So yeah, Willow, fantastic color choices. Fantastic understanding of proportions. I know you didn't, like, ask for advice, but, like, if you wanted to keep this up, yeah, my advice would be, or the things that I would want you to do is work on doing, you know, those one-stroke confident lines. I can show you guys some, like, exercises for that and stuff. I'm also sad Mocha didn't submit anything, but he did draw a brand new thing to submit to the last art show, so, like, understandable that he sat out of this one. It was intended fantasy room. Yeah, Willow pre-Willow when he was in OC. Yeah, like, but yeah, your color choices are so good, Willow! Oh my god, like, I literally might haggle you about some color choices that I find myself debating sometimes, because holy shit. Alright. Thank you so much, Willow. You are fantastic. If you want to chat about the actually, and I can just show you guys, at the end of the art show too, just, like, the various exercises and advice things I mentioned. Okay, I actually want to look at the traditional thing first. Whoa! Sorry. I pointed at the screen with my finger, like you guys could see me pointing. Willow! Riker! You made the fabric look like it's moving! That's awesome! Riker! Like, you not only got like, everything in this really does feel like it's moving, and not just the big arm swings or anything. The way that the fabric is pulling away or sort of floating around the legs really gives it the effect that it's swishing around as they fight. That is very well done. Because anyone that's drawn anything knows that fabric is the hardest part. Fabric is the hardest part. So, like, that's why I immediately went, whoa! Because I immediately noticed. And yeah, the impact motion blur is very well done. Something that a lot of people have a hard time is interrupting their line art and using negative space. But yeah, no, you in multiple places, quote unquote, interrupt your line art without giving up the integrity of the form, which is awesome. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I like seeing the kneecap protrude here and here. Yeah, feet are a nightmare to draw. A reference from one of my favorite mangas. Yeah. Wow. Okay, hang on. Let me make a list of things that I've yapped about for us to go over. So we've yapped about hang on. We've yapped about confident line, practice, feet. Confident line practice, feet. That's in a Google Doc on my computer right now. Oh my gosh, the little animation is so cute. Whoa, the little splatter of water is great. Okay, this is one that loops forward and backwards, but if you were to make it so that it is a complete animation from going up, oh right, okay. Let's see, coloring, colored pencils, question mark, understanding of proportions, line and shading placement, cool. Alright, so there's that. But if you were to make this an animation that, like loops, that doesn't bounce from 0 to 1 back to 1, and you instead made it go 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, I would love to see the water continue to expand, like continue to push outward on the x-axis as it falls down. But again, that's like I want to see more of it. Again, that's another I want to see more of it, not I think this looks bad. Or that I don't think this doesn't communicate what it wants to communicate. And it's the little smiley blink is so cute! Oh my gosh, Riker! And I love the shadow you picked here, because it kind of gives me the impression that this part of the whale's underwater, even though I don't know if that was your intention, but like, it kind of looks like it's reflecting the color of the seafloor there. You know? Like, oh, this, Riker, I've been obsessing over this since you sent it in the channel. I keep just randomly looking at it. Because I had a hard time drawing this crown thing for the little, peach cat emote, pop cat emote that I made, for Chaos. And, you being able to recreate that in pixel art is crazy. Oh, you got it to work on shading. Okay, so, for shading then, I would, here, I think, did you just pick a darker pink? Like, did you just, like, go further down on the black scale, or did you also change the hue a little bit to either be a little warmer or a little cooler? I'm just curious, because I actually kind of can't tell off the top of my head. It doesn't look flat, so I think you did change the hue some. But I wonder if, oh, the whale was for shading. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, so you did make some really good choices there with, picking the shading. Like, this isn't, yeah, just, I really like it. It really gives me the impression that part of it's underwater. Let's see, I was trying to make symbols for all of us. Yeah, so yeah, let me pull up. Can I color pick off of my screen? I would like to. Will it let me? No, it won't. Aww! Okay, well, See, right now, I think you picked, like, this pink to start, and then it kind of looks like you picked around in here for your shaded color, which looks really good. Because you didn't just because I think I got pretty close to what you did, and so yeah, you knew to go both more saturated and darker instead of just darker. But I also, so if I go towards yellow, it becomes warmer, and if I go towards blue, it becomes cooler. Which I can info out more about later, but yellow is the strongest warm color and blue is the strongest cool color. Which is why there are warm oranges and cool oranges and stuff like that. I just realized I don't want the sub badges to be, yeah, no, that would be an awesome sub badge. But I also would have taken it around the color wheel itself to be a little bit cooler, and you can see that as I turn it to be cooler, it just starts to, it looks more vibrant despite not changing the vibrancy at all. So that's a really neat thing, a neat like principle to have in your back pocket. And the cooler you make it, but you know, if I make it too cool, it actually starts to look a little less vibrant. So there's kind of this sweet spot right here where it looks its most vibrant and still looks like a shaded color instead of just another color entirely. But yeah, I love that you have 3-tone shading here instead of just 2 too. Like being able to fit that into an icon that's this small. That, and I also would have put a little bit of a shadow right underneath where each of these armor plate partitions go. But that's just because I know what the armor looks like. As an icon on its own, I wouldn't have ever, if I saw the icon on its own, that wouldn't have occurred to me. Yeah, the antlers are a bitch. The antlers are a huge bitch. They're amazing, but yeah, no, Mocha and I think, have the thing in common where we're like, guys, I have this great idea for hair or a head decoration or a thing, and then we realize that we have to draw it, and we're like, I love me adding antlers to my design out of spite. Oh, yeah. Is this also for, this is for Chaos's, like, wolf form, right? Or have I interpreted that wrong? Also, gotta say, I love the storytelling, like, implications behind you having a traditional Wanted poster, like, formatting, but also using the very futuristic font. I love that. I love that there's, like, some world building literally just from your font choice. That's awesome. You remember this? Because it kind of looks like it could be for Chaos's, like, wolf form or something, but I don't actually know. I also thought that one of Willow's submissions was straight up Riker, and it wasn't. This is for a sci-fi story I was working on. Ooh! Does this have any connection to your current iteration of Chaos? Or is that, like, a coincidence again? Is this legally distinct Chaos? Yeah, I have 0 notes on this. I think everything about this is perfect. I mean, except maybe having, like, a glow effect around some of these particles, the way that, similar to what, Willow had in his, sword could be really interesting. But, yeah, legally distinct Chaos. Yeah, the background fucks, dude. It fucks harder than I fucked your mom last night. But yeah, wow, it's awesome. And again, I love just how much I can learn about the world this is in from the combination of the, like, old Western format of the Wanted poster and the futuristic font. I love shit like that. The text is drawn to, whoa, that's impressive. Especially the R's. Hell yeah. Oh my god, guys, I should info them to you about making, that reminds me. Also, for anyone wondering, I do know a little bit about pixel art, but, hang on, sheets.google.com. But I had a pretty unique problem when I was doing, why am I logged into my VTubing account on my non-VTubing opera. Anyway, I designed myself a Smosh sweater, which I still haven't finished knitting. But you know, and you think, oh, well, it's just straight lines and then curves. This is the wall decoration that's on their Smosh pit set. But it's like, oh, but like people know how to make circles in pixel art, so like what's the big deal? Here's the problem though. When you knit, each individual stitch isn't a square, it's a rectangle. So what I did was I changed the size of these cells to be the same shape as, or the same proportions as the stitches I was going to be using for the specific yarn that I had, and then I had to figure out what a circle looked like in that format by myself. It was hell. Yeah, it was a lot, but it's worth it. I haven't started knitting it. I haven't finished knitting it yet. I'm only like 6 rows in. I should really finish knitting that. It looks really cool though. Thank you. Oh yeah, I also made a, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, awesome work on that font. But yeah, that just reminded me of that, and we also talked about this. Oh my gosh! Okay, guys, this is the finished piece that Emerald did for, okay, adding the filigree to be in between the panels is a fantastic idea. Ooh, the see-through fabric. I understand now why things are that way. Also, the glows are so well done. Like, whoa. Yeah, the only thing is, that I see is that the trunks would have kind of a line coming here to show that, because, you know, pants don't, there isn't like a V from the crotch of pants. It's like a upside down U instead, right? Because there's the, oh shit. Oh my god, ad started right when I got to Emeralds. God damn it. Oop. I'll come back to yours after. Blah. Okay. Since Chaos sent another one, let's look at Chaos's, since he has a turbo. Just a lucky timing. Yeah. Whoa! Oh my god, that's so cute! Wow, you really captured the expression and the feeling that it's hopping down from somewhere. The only thing is, like, I think maybe it looks like the front paws should stretch out a little bit more. But you can really tell that the tail has weight to it as it's following the thing down. Does that say prison? Does that say prison? Are these cell blocks? Wait, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, no, this is gorgeous. No, and yeah, drawing things in motion. We don't talk about the back page. All right, I will respect it. Oh my god, that's so cute. Oh my god, it's a little panda. Wow, yeah, you can really see it squishing itself into the floor because pandas are fat. Oh my god. So cute. And whoa! Okay, this is another one that's super impressive because it is weirdly difficult to draw lines that change direction like that and like keeping them looking like they should be consistent even with guidelines, just like keeping your hand steady for that. So very, very good craftsmanship with the line art here. Each work on eyes, they're very fun. I used to draw nothing but eyes, and I had an entire sketchbook that was full of them, and one day I threw out my old sketchbooks, which I shouldn't have done, but I used to hoard just like my mommy, and so I threw away like everything that was in my room. It was necessary for where my brain was at the time, but I do kind of regret it, but it's okay. Anyway, and my dad saw the sketchbooks in the trash, and he was like, oh, maybe I should, oh, okay, bye, Emerald, it looks fantastic, thank you so much for submitting both your work in progress and the finished thing. I very much appreciate you, Emerald, thank you so much. But yeah, he was gonna try to like rescue the sketchbooks, but then he opened the first one and it was nothing but human eyes staring at him from all directions, and he went, nope! And left it in the trash because he thought he got creeped out, which is so valid, honestly. Yeah, no. Yeah, fantastic just craftsmanship on the line art, dude. Like, the panda is also very steady. I need to check. See, this is why I love doing this, because I I have no idea, like, because I knew Willow drew, but I didn't actually know Willow did pixel art somehow. And I knew, Riker, that you did pixel art, but I didn't know you did animation. I didn't know, like, you could do this like this. Whoa. Like, that's so impressive, guys. Okay, now we look at beloved Meti. Okay, Meti sent this to me when they were still actively drawing it. It's so cute. So yeah, this is another one where, like, I told Meti, like, fantastic job on the hands, and Meti immediately goes, oh, well, I used a base. I'm like, I don't care. Fantastic job on the hands. Also, like, did a really good job with, drawing the overall shape of the bangs, which I know are a bitch to draw. It's a kind of a really weird swoop. So, if I were to... it's almost like we're planning to make art comics or something. Yo! Please do. I would love to see that. But yeah, so the... Hang on. Actually, I think I will want to actually draw on this to show what I'm talking about, because, so when... Hello? Okay, so, oh wait, Medi, are you here? If not, that's okay. I can send you this VOD thing later if you do want the feedback. If you know, that is also valid. So, but what I'm gonna get at here is, where's my pen? Fuck! No! No! Guys, I did it again. Oh wait, no, it's underneath my keyboard. I'm always here. I knew, yay! Especially, yeah, so the angle for the gems is, yeah, no, the angle for the gems is really well done. So when oops. Oh, there's no undo. You can't double tap for undo. Cringe. Where's my, can I not change my, oh, there it is. Okay, so, when the bangs are facing the front, they're like this, right? And I think you actually, you definitely realize that the way that the way these angles are going to change, but you did it backwards, and I'm going to tell you exactly why you did it backwards, because I did the exact same thing when I was rigging my model the first time. Now, normally when you take a shape like this, and this is the side that's receding, and this is the side that's like obtruding, then this one would get wider and this one would get thinner. But here's the thing. This isn't a flat shape. It's a flat, this part is in front of this part. Where's the undo? These parts are in front of the middle part. And because of that, they move faster, quote unquote, than from the same amount of rotation. They move more physical distance from the same amount of rotation. And so because of that, it's a little weird. This bit does have what you thought would happen, where, alright, hang on. So that manages to offset what the normal perspective change would be. It makes it so that it's kind of backwards. And so this one will cover it so that this space becomes smaller. And because this one protrudes so much, it will expose more space underneath of it. So as you can see, it is opposite of how you drew it. But the important thing is that you did understand that as it rotates, one side will stretch differently from the other. And you did it backwards for an incredibly, like, common, valid reason. So, like, amazing job on that. I'm very impressed by that, considering that you haven't done, like, a lot of art before that I've seen. Wow. Let's see. Hang on. Also, did you do this with a pen or did you do this with a mouse? Because that's obviously going to change how I'm, like, scribbling myself over this. Because if I'm like, hey, this line was a little wonky, it's like, well, yeah, I did it with a fucking mouse, Aaron. No shit. Finger. Okay. So, on your phone? Okay. So, because of that, I think that, yeah, very well done. So, I have an Ibis Paint tutorial to show you later, but basically using the lasso tool when you're drawing with your finger can actually be a lot easier on you. Oh, you got a stylus. Okay, never mind. Okay, so since you have a stylus, again, the thing I was talking about where, like, doing one confident line could help you a lot here. And this is another one where the contour of the hair changes things a little bit. So again, like from the front, we know it looks like this. And so again, you kind of think like, okay, well, it becomes flatter when it rotates. Holy shit, you did this with your finger. What the fuck? But again, like this part, the way I intend it, this part is down like right in front of the ear, and this part is like out in front of the titties. So if you look at it from the side, it does this. Like this is the head. Wait, no. It's like this is the head, this is the ear, and then this is the flow of the hair. Right? So in that case, how I would draw it from this, well, actually, you can see it from my model. Like, you can kind of see how it looks when it turns. It does become a little bit flatter, but you can still see the push out from this portion of the hair on the head turn. That, and I think that you kept it rooted to kind of where it hits on the bangs when it's facing the front. But because it is significantly behind the bangs, it would actually hit, because it's like kind of like right next to the eye level, it would actually stick closer to the eyes. So it would be kind of like this. But the really cool thing is, again, I can tell that you do understand how it's rotating because you got the end point of the hair exactly. You got the end point of the hair exactly. Just what you were missing was the fact that here up top, it's at like ear-eye depth. And yeah, see, again, this is what I'm talking about, where, like, even with art that has mistakes in it, you can still see where somebody still understands perspective. And you can see how extensive their understanding is through picking apart where they did go right. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you were able to figure out this endpoint, even after, I assume you started drawing it from the top down. So the fact that you started with a quote-unquote incorrect beginning point and still ended with the right endpoint is really cool. Also, the eyes are so cute. The eyes are just so cute. Yeah, and then, the only thing, so you actually, the interesting thing is, you got the chains perfectly. The gems, actually, on the side that's closest to the viewer, actually got stretched out a little bit too much, because, the front of the body is like this. And then here is the back of the body, right? And so the gems actually would only populate this portion, and then from the rest of it would be a plain chain. But again, the important thing is you got the chain shape itself right. Also, awesome job on the lips. Like, you knowing not to just do a line straight across because that would make it look kind of like clowny is very good understanding of, again, like interpreting shapes into line art. Yeah, I hope that all makes sense. It sounds like it did. But yeah, like, I'm so excited to see you do art. I'm so excited you're enjoying it. Like, and again, just a fantastic job on the hand. Just a fantastic job on the hand. Like, yeah. Showing that little dip is very cute. Again, I know it's from the base, but like you accurately tracing that this part of the thumb is like kind of like a sharper corner and that this is a softer curve. Like, that's impressive even for you tracing, because a lot of people, when tracing over a reference like this for the first time, wouldn't pick up on the fact that that corner was there and would instead make it like a bell curve. So the fact that you picked up that that's actually like a corner is really good. Means that you're really good at interpreting line art for it starts and stops. Yeah. I'm so proud of you! I'm so proud of you! You will keep out and improve. Yeah, you will! And you're already doing so good! You're already doing so good! And also, Medi sent me, like, this whole thing, and they said it was a base, but they, like, completely changed the face. Oh my god, your color picking for the eyes, very well done. It has a very glowy effect. I would want to see some, like, darker, like, specks around here, This one isn't basic. Oh, Medi! Oh my god, Medi rattles you. This is so good! What? I thought this was, I guess I just recognized the character and I see, but yeah, now that I think about it, this doesn't actually look like the other drawing. I would want to see some dark specks just to push the contrast of the yellow glow. But again, that's an addition. That's not a criticism. That's like a design suggestion, not a thing I think should be improved. It's a preference. That's where I'm looking for. Love the scale texture. I love this fluffy bit at the jaw. That's one of my favorite things that furry artists do, and I'm glad that you also enjoy it. Where did you make this background yourself, or did you pick it up from somewhere? You did a really good job on the nose anatomy, because yeah, what you communicate when you can't see both eyes but you can see both nostrils is that the nose is very flat. Is it Ibis background? Hell yeah. Is that the nose is very flat, but there's a big ridge between the two eyes. So I love that you got that across. And then also, again, like using this line to assist in that by showing that this part of the nostril, like depth-wise, is in line with the bottom of the eye. Fantastic communication through, what I call them, like, auxiliary lines, like extra lines. You know, like where in real life this would actually be like a whole shadow that lays here, but because you're doing like a shell-shaded vibe and putting a cell of shading there might be too harsh, you just use a line to very subtly communicate to the viewer. Yeah, yes! See? And that's the thing, you intuitively knew that both nostrils were non-negotiable even if you didn't know why. Like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. This is why I love doing these, because, like, people go, oh, that's why I felt like this. I'm like, yes! You already have the intuition, you just need to get the knowledge that matches it. Oh my god, guys, I'm so proud of all of you. Yeah. And then, the only thing that is that, this shadow, it looks like you used just black, or a very, like, dark shade of green. I think that actually you desaturated it too much. I think the reason it looks black, even if you didn't use black, is because you desaturated it too much. So I would like to see a more saturated dark green and a little bit of a cooler dark green. Similar to how, like, you know, when you made the yellow, the bright yellow, right? You made it warmer and you made it, you kept the saturation for the most part, you know, that kind of thing. That and this shadow, how do I describe this? I think because of the amount that you desaturated it, it actually looks as light as, if not lighter than this portion? Or is that supposed to be like where the front of the neck has a different skin color texture? In which case that makes complete sense. Or is this supposed to be the head shadow? It was an attempt at a head shadow? Yeah, so I think that you desaturated it enough that it gets a little bit confusing for the viewer. So yeah, I think that not desaturating your... wait, hang on, when I say desaturation, let me clarify. So saturation is, this axis here where it goes from gray to vivid. Like, I think that you moved your shadow, if you're using this square one, you moved it too far to the right, or if you're using this triangle, or actually no, on the triangle one is also, I think you moved it too far to the left. So I think that instead of moving it left, keeping it around here, but moving it down would get more of the effect that you want, and have it look more like a shadow instead of like a different thing, kind of. Because I think if I had to pick an equivalent shade that you did for this pink, I think you did here. I think you went, yeah, you just went like directly to the left, but keeping about the same amount to the left, maybe going a little bit to the left, but not as far, and then going down instead would help with that color selection. Again, fantastic job. And then Riker attitude. Whoa! Okay, that's just a sick design for a crest. Whoa! Wait, so are those the runes kind of like coming off of the blade, or is that the blade itself like falling apart? I think it's runes, like, or just energy coming off the blade. Whoa. Hell yeah. The only thing is that I noticed that you have added this like line of light and this little bit this line of light onto the blade. And same thing, there's another one on the side, even though it's kind of obscured. I would also add that to the hilt and then like a dark line on this side of the handle just to get more depth to it and to match the blade. Well, that or take away the depth cue on the blade so that the thing matches, but for right now it kind of looks like the hilt is detached from the blade. Wow. You guys popped the fuck off over a course of multiple years. Thank you so much, guys! Oh, oops. I forgot to do it back. I can totally do that. Yeah! So yeah, I guess that's kind of another thing that had in common when I was talking with Willow is kind of making sure that there is consistency between the different parts of your piece. Like, you know, like this rock gets really dark, so having the trees get dark too would kind of help bring the foreground and the background together and stuff like that. Hi, Rain! Are you guys ready to look at my art from high school? Hang on. I'm gonna... Oh, oops. Hang on. Let me change, like, my good camera. Hang on. Hang on. You guys can... Because my VTuber model was gonna stop moving because I have to exit app, so you guys are gonna be awkwardly staring at the back of my camera for a second. Yeah, now we're gonna do... People who saw the art show in January, you've already seen these. But, like, LOL. LOL. Send tweet. Oh, hello? Why isn't this working? What do you mean inactive? What do you mean not connected? You literally are. There it goes. Are you serious? Oh my god, it's dirty. Shit. Okay. Hello, my friends. Welcome to my high school art show. My high school and college art show. Okay. Oh, actually... Oh, wait. Hey, this is a pride flag I made out of paper that got ripped in half by a kid named Robert, who I knew since I was 7. Who turned out to be super homophobic. Oopsies. Rain, hello! I love you! Okay, so... Let's see. Okay, this is, I think, the most insane drawing I've ever done. So in 10th grade, I was told to put a bunch of random shit on my desk and take a picture of it, with the goal being to have very harsh lighting, and then draw it in charcoal, which is a huge pain in the ass, and, like, I popped the fuck off. I was 15. What the hell? Like, look at this, the texture on the clock and stuff, and, like, I drew a whole flute. I don't know why I agreed to draw a whole flute in charcoal. It was a bad idea. Actually, it's this flute. I call it my trash flute, because it's gotten hit by, like, 5 guard poles. But yeah, I popped off on this. I don't think I could do this today. Well, actually, no, I could, but I don't want to go out and get charcoal. And then also, during the charcoal part of our curriculum, I'm showing you guys this so I can show you, like, I can walk my talk with all the, you know, all the random tidbits I'm giving. It's like, well, how do you know that? Here's how I know it. Okay, well, to be clear, I only took 2 years of actual art classes. From there, I just continued studying on my own, but, those 2 art classes were the most important because they were the foundational ones. So, let's see, where is it? Hang on. Also, I did ask my older sister permission to show this. So don't worry about me doxing her face. I asked her if I could, dox her face. Yes. Will desires clock again. Bring it back so Ellie can see. Yeah! Just a second. Here it is. Wait. So, quick panoramic. I'm most most impressed by the highlight I got over the text. Cause that meant, cause yeah. That night I actually did kind of get the logo right that's up there, but it's in cursive, so that wasn't ever actually really gonna happen. Also, that's American Idiot, the Un-American Idiot CD. Yeah, and the shadow, because I had 2 light sources, so the shadow only had one part that was truly black, the rest of it kind of got diffused. Ellie says it's awesome and very cool. It is awesome and very cool. It won an award! It was in the, oh, no, maybe I shouldn't say that. Did they ever post it online? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so, and then also as part of the charcoal unit, they asked to take a picture of a person, in incredibly harsh lighting, and I drew my older sister. She's very pretty. Yeah. Also, it was her birthday this week. I felt really bad because it was one of the days where I literally was asleep all day, so I missed it. And I was really nervous about that, but I texted her about it. She said that, no, she understands, and she just wants to hang out with me for her birthday. So, yay. And so, yeah. Also, this was our from our family's, everything is from Home Goods era of background painting. Honestly, the most impressive part is the knitted cardigan. It's not really accurate, but from far away, it does look, when you get close, but it does look like a card. Shit. I forgot. You probably couldn't read that, right? Anyway, but yeah. Also, the hardest part was her glasses, because if you can see, I actually did draw where the light refracts weird through the lens. If you could read that, then I will have to scrub this portion of the VOD, but that's okay. Yeah. Very epic. I still think... Let's see. What the fuck is this? Hold up, what? Oh, hey, I made this when I was 14. And the best part is, it still does. We did finger painting at, our GSA, and, that's what or no, not finger painting, it was normal painting. Anyway, that's what I made. LOL. Back then, we were definitely a trans boy in denial. LOL. That's fine. And now we have Orion. Let's see. Oh! This is a self-portrait I did. And I knew I did a good job because it got put in my county's art show, and I was walking around, and a kid pointed at me and went, "Hey, your portrait's on the other floor!" Your portrait's on the other floor, and I was like, alright! So, yeah, also, I kind of regret adding this background, but it is what it is. Oh, you can't find your high school charcoal art? Aww. For a portrait, at least it's okay. Oh, no, that's a good thing. The kid could recognize me without me standing next to the thing. Also, drawing this hoodie sucked. Oh, you're talking about me saying I kind of regret the background. Yeah, I should not have worn a hoodie that had patches on it, but I did. But yeah, it is pretty faded. It is pretty faded just because it's 9 years old, but still pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I'm sorry, again, you guys have heard the story, but one day we couldn't find a substitute for our art class, and so they made my band teacher, who doesn't have, oh yeah, I saw Mocha submitted something, we'll take a look after it in a sec. My band teacher, they made him substitute for us because he didn't have a class in first block, and there were a bunch of people in marching band in that class. We went around asking us all who we were drawing, because we were all drawing portraits using, if you look close, you can see that I use swirls. Some people use dots, some people used X's or squares, but I use swirls. And it was really funny because he individually went to each person and went, that's in marching band, and went, who are you drawing? Who are you drawing? But the thing is, we could all hear him, and so every it got to the point where, he got to, Owen, one of the percussionists, he's like, are you gonna ask me what I'm drawing? And he was like, yeah. Shoutouts to my high school band teacher, Yusule. But yeah, and then it was funny because I was like, it's Haley Williams. And he goes, who's that? And I was like, the lead singer of Paramore. Because he had to drive me to an audition because my mom made me sign up for it even though I wasn't prepared for it. And then she also wouldn't let any of the seniors drive me. So he had to drive me. I'd only been at that high school for like a month. It was very awkward, but not because of him, just because that's awkward. And we found out we listened to similar music, but it was kind of funny because he was like, I'm not going to play explicit music in a car with a random ass 14-year-old. And he goes, okay, I'm going to try to keep the music PG. And he just like hits play. And I think he accidentally loaded the wrong playlist because he hits play. And the first thing I hear, because he listens to a lot of like metal, the first thing I heard is and then he just rips the aux cord out of his phone and was like, okay, we'll think about music later. So funny. No, yeah, that teacher was incredibly based. And he hasn't responded to my email, but that's fine. Although, hey, his Gmail doesn't have a profile picture anymore. I'm worried he, like, deleted his email, but it also feels weird texting him, even though I have his phone number. But that was for, like, emergencies on field trips and stuff. Like, I argued, like, well, no, I'm an adult now, if you don't care. Anyway, this is a watercolor painting of my cat. I managed to take this picture at the perfect time. So this is Lou, and this is Knox. He had his hand up like this, and it's because in the split second after I snapped this photo, he went and so I painted it in watercolor because I thought it was funny. Let's see. This shit, did I name this Steven? What did I name this? No, this is Stuart. We had like a Zentangle assignment where we were supposed to draw something else in the center, to draw around the Zentangle because, to like work on like line consistency even when we have to break our lines, like making it look like it was going around like that. And also working on value. I actually failed the value part because, Stuart had too much white in it, so, like, if you blurred this out, it would be a very light gray instead of like a gray. No, I didn't fail. I got, like, 2 points off or something. But my art teacher then gave me more points for creativity because she's like, do I think this is balanced? No, but do I think it looks better this way? Yes. Let's see, what's this? Oh yeah, this is an exercise we did where we had to draw something using no outlines. And without using traditional shading methods, so stacking circles on top of each other. This is an exercise I recommend for anyone who wants to work on the things that I talked about during the community art show portion. I recommend exercises like this, and exercises like this. I actually recommended this one to Medi last night. The hardest part of art is drawing what you see and only circles. Not drawing what you see, or drawing what you see and not what you think you see. And a really good way to do that is, so for this portion, oops. Why is that pausing my music? Anyway, actually, no, you can't see it because I lost the reference photo, but what I did to get this so accurate to the reference photo was I put the grid over the reference photo, and then no outlines at all. No outlines whatsoever. Not even sketched. But that was like an end of semester exercise. You can see that there might be some, like, kind of weird jitters between squares. And that is because I drew this one square at a time by literally covering every square except for the one I was currently drawing and the one that I was referencing on the reference photo. And so what that did was it gave me very, very accurate curls from the statue's hair because I wasn't worried about the fact that I was drawing a curl. I just knew there's a black spot, there's a black shape here, there's a gray shape here, and there's a white shape here, and I just have to draw that. I love exercises like this, and Greek statues are great candidates for that, both because it makes your ability to kind of break down the facial expressions a lot better, and also, again, curly hair, practicing drawing curly hair is a great exercise in figuring out how, on how values come together to make shapes. So yeah, definitely recommend that exercise if you guys are looking for things to do. Let's see, and then, but yeah, that's all my stuff from high school when I was like a hardcore realism girly. And then after that, I don't even know if you can still hear me when I bounce this all over. And then I started getting into digital art and doing stylized stuff. Like junior year, because junior year is when I got into Pokemon, like online Pokemon communities, and also started doing digital art. And so, hang on. There we go. And so, yeah, now I can show you guys my digital stuff. We will switch back to VTubing for that. Okay, sorry, moving my camera. Okay. Oh, look at Mocha's thing before I switch that, actually. Whoa! Holy shit. So, yeah, this kind of, yeah, as you can see here, he wanted it to have a really, like, gritty, muddy effect, and so, a lot of the time when you create a shadow, you go cooler because it, gives it more depth, but in order to really push the, like, in order to really push the color scheme, you can see he actually went warmer on his shadows, which creates a kind of unnatural, like, unsettling effect, which, like, clearly suits the character. Let's see, if we move in here, why did it lighten up? Anyway, you can see that, he does have a very deep, dark line of, like, red inside, but outside of that, he has diffused that into the gray skin color, using a lighter red and a warmer red, which is really cool. Also let's see. Now there's these warmer patches here and here, which I think are implying that there's another reference coming from up here, but I'm not 100% sure. The implied fur texture is really good, because here's the thing, like, you like, if you asked me to make like a reference photo diagram of this jacket, I probably couldn't, but, you know, the point of this is to be illustrative, right? And you can still see the implied shape of, like, okay, well, this is furry, this is furry, this is furry. The rest of this must be flat. Referenced off one of the posters. Ooh, practicing painting. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, like, when you use paint brushes, you get, oh my god, when you practice, you get these, like, you get these really interesting textured blends that you don't get from other mediums, including colored pencil, without a lot of extra work. So, like, what people describe as a painterly feel in things, usually what they mean by that is that the transitions are not achieved by actually physically blending the colors. They are achieved through the places where the colors meet being textured, such that it creates the illusion of them being blended. Like, it looks like there's a little bit of, like, a, like here. Oh my gosh, what are you? Jesus Christ. Discord, why do you suck? Hang on. Okay, fuck it, we're using the fucking snippet tool. Anyway, so, like, here, right here, there is an actual gradient, but here, there's a tiny bit of gradient here, but most of it is just that because this has a jagged edge, a varied jagged edge instead of a straight one, when you zoom out, it looks like there could be a gradient here, even though there's not. Oh my god, there's a little heart. Wow. Wow. That is very cool. Lighter version, when you zoom in, is closer to what it is. Oh, what? Discord. Okay, never mind then. Whoa, yeah, no, so you can see more of the warm tones pop out when it does that. Okay. Why does it... I don't know why Discord shows it that way. What the fuck? Yeah, okay, no, so yeah, you can definitely see more. Yeah, no, Mocha, awesome job working on practicing painting. Like, you especially did a really good job kind of applying that with getting the hairline to look realistic without you sitting there just, like, drawing individual tiny little hairs. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so that's You guys did so good. It's crazy. You guys do such good work. It's crazy. I am so excited to see all of you. And also, just as a reminder, since we talked a lot about like, oh, well, you can do this exercise, and you can do this, and you can do this. I do have like a look at my art thing. Like I don't just do this on art show, community art show day. You can, anytime, any day, just ask me to take a look at your art, critique it, not critique it, just show it off on stream, whatever. And I will do it for channel points. Yeah. Okay. Now, would you guys like to see my digital portfolio? Because I'm gonna spend less time yapping about this probably, but I will spend time nonetheless. Okay. Actually, should I try to go? So yeah, that's my profile picture. I actually should probably fix this because I might see originally the white bits on my model, the white portions were gonna be deep dark gray at the top and then only white at the ends, but I changed them to just be holy white, cause whole WHOLELY, holy white, just because I felt like it. But you know now, but in this they were that and my ears got bigger. My ears got bigger. LOL. Why is this sideways? Oh, yeah, I drew a Caracol Miku. Cause I was having a hard time deciding what to do, and then I realized that I could make the normal Caracol tufts, like the black ones that I have, the hot pink that's on her, like, hair tie decoration thingies. And then just have, like, long ass... Actually, drawing the ears as big as I did in this image is what made me want to make my ears just like stupid big. And I'm very happy that I did because she's so cute. She's so cute. And yeah, I just kind of designed a simple like halter top kind of thing. I don't know. I mostly like that I added these like kind of the like backlighting effects just very subtly on the edges of her arms and her face, just to make it look like a little bit more like a complete illustration. Oh, this is our first, like, finalized draft of Reen. When I started drawing it with the neat line art style, we realized that these look a little too much like dress pants, so we swapped them out to be more, like, athletic looking, and I'm very happy with that change. But yeah, you guys, pretty much everything else... Pretty much everything else is the same. We got the 2 lightning ahoges, we have the power symbol, we have the 4, we have the 3, we have the makeshift Reen logo that I made up. Yeah. Very proud of this design. Yeah, no, it is a Maine Coon. Or no, it's a Caracol, but Caracols and Maine Coons are definitely more closely related than other cats are to wild cats. But yeah, also, oh my god, I realized when I did my lore dump on my normal anniversary, I forgot to say the reason that I picked Hecate as the goddess that gave me this form is because Hecate represents plurality. Like, she is typically depicted with 3 heads. She's the goddess of the crossroads, which obviously is when you take multiple choices, and in a very fantastical framing. The idea is kind of what happens when your brain is given 2 choices and it chooses both. And again, it literally splits itself between those 2 choices. It literally, like, splits itself so that it can take both of those roads. That's why I picked Hecate. Why did I pick a Caracol cat? Because of Big Floppa. That's why. It's because a friend that I was talking to a lot at the time is obsessed with Big Floppa, and subsequently I became obsessed with Big Floppa, and now I'm Big Floppa, but as a cute anime girl. As a cute Lolita maid anime girl. So... LOL. Emote. These are placeholder emotes that I still have not, unplaceholded. Sorry. I'll do it soon. As a meme. Yeah, Big Floppa. Can Big Floppa be your street name? Hey, Big Floppa's what your mom called me last night. I really like this one. Oh yeah, and this emote is named Pandora, because it's funny. Ha 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 ha. I actually do unironically like my raid emote. I just need to make it more detailed and stuff. Although also, I drew these emotes before my character was done. Before I even started making my own VTuber model, so like, yeah, like again, you can see that I wasn't even sure if I wanted the I wasn't even sure if I wanted these to be white yet. Or my hair, yeah. So like these emotes were done before I was done designing my stuff. Okay. This is my friend Emberloyd. Hang on. She's like a long distance friend online, sort of in real life friend, because like I mean I'm in Virginia and he's in Maryland, but we've met each other online, so it's in that weird bit of like, are we long distance friends, online friends? You're like whatever. Anyway, your mouse are awesome. Thank you. But yeah, the really fun part about working on this commission was not only getting to draw her idol Sona, but also kind of working out the logistics of how the she's based off of a lynx, and so getting to talk about the logistics of how her hair works. Both so I could draw it at this 3/4 angle successfully, and so she could think about like making a wig and shit for it. So yeah, so this is literally the real life. The boots, the leggings, the petticoat, the skirt. This is literally her idol outfit in real life. She performs as an idol at cons. So if you live on the East Coast, check out a con near you. This is the Halloween art I did my first year of streaming. Yeah, it's emo. That's it. Oh yeah, this is the profile picture I drew for Medi. So, Medi commissioned me for a profile picture and a background for, for his, 1.0 model. And I decided to go ahead and refresh to, 2.0. So I just drew in as a yawning profile picture, and I really like the way that I chibi-ified her curls so I could get the silhouette right, but not drive myself fucking bonkers trying to redraw the curls. This is Net. I drew Net a profile picture because I felt so awful. I heard from Medi that he was just getting, like, fucking assaulted by bots in his, by, like, art scammers and bots in his chat. And he was like, well, I want to get, like, profile pictures and things. Like, I want to, but I can't afford to. So, like, lay off me. But the thing is, like, the reason that he was attracting these bots was because they saw that his profile picture was, like, a screenshot of his Vroid model, and they saw him as, like, easy target. So I was like, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes drawing this guy a profile picture, A, so that his perception of artists in the VTubing community isn't just fucking ruined. And also to hopefully get some bots off his back. I pop into his streams now and again. Fantastic streamer. Very, very chill, very entertaining. I recommend him 100,000%. Oh, that's just a scan of my shit. That's not a very good scan of my shit. Why is this... Yeah, I should redo those before my art starts fading. Oh, wait, yeah, hang on. Actually, well, you guys see this painting in the background of my streams. He's a profile picture on Discord. He's a very... He has a Discord? How did I not know that? This is Harry. I named him that because he's an octopus, and octopi don't have hair. He's a blue ring octopus, and I painted him my sophomore year of high school, and I still have him to this day, because I wasn't able to sell him in, like, the first couple years I had him, and then I got emotionally attached, so now I'm not selling him. This is my old profile picture from my first time around of, getting into streaming before I got #canceled. Taylor Swift moment. Yeah. I actually used this as kind of a reference for my VTuber model's eyes, if you can't tell. And yeah, you guys haven't seen me wear my hair, but like, this hairstyle where I have the 2 rope braids going to the normal braids was kind of like my quote-unquote signature hairstyle for a while. To the point where at college people told me... Yo,
that's me.
Yo, that's me? What? What was I gonna say? Also, I love the way I drew Twilight here. She looks so stupid. Your cat... Oh! Yeah. Yeah, I like this drawing. It's very cool. Oh yeah, and also I'm really proud of the fact that I managed to keep... So when you have really thick glasses, it distorts light, so even though If I wasn't wearing glasses, you just see the side of my face continue normally, and it would protrude all the way out to here, and then you'd see my ear come out here. But because I have glasses, it bends the light, so you can instead see the side of my face, like here. And I'm really proud of the fact that I kept that effect while still having the very cartoony style. So this was one of my first times doing like actual digital art instead of basically doing traditional art but in digital. And it's because so this is a redraw of somebody's art. I can't remember the artist's name, but I'm sure I can find it. It was originally published on DeviantArt. Victini Wave DeviantArt. It's a redraw of waving. It's a redraw of Victini by iLicky on DeviantArt. iLicky on DeviantArt. That one was used as a an emote from a server, and that server randomly spammed adding everyone saying like, my penis is bleeding, but they didn't address it, and I, being a chronically online 17-year-old, was like, I just popped into chat and I was like, was anyone else like confused by that and like hated that? Because there's like a no NSFW rule here, and I'm kind of like, what? And then the mods also being chronically online teenagers were like, oh my god, but you're coming out of the woodwork and blah blah blah. It was just both of us caring way too much. So, and then Maddie and I left, but then I redrew this because we wanted to keep the emote. And I didn't want to just steal the art, so I redrew it. Yeah. Oh, these are little evolutions that I drew. This was my first time doing like lineless art, which was really fun in a cartoony style. Right. Okay. So when I was in r/Pokemon Max raids, which is a subreddit in the Discord, and the more raids you hosted, the more people that caught Pokemon through your raids, the higher of like a rank you would get. You get different vanity rolls, and every time I upgraded a vanity roll, I would take the picture of the screenshot of Pikachu T-posing, change the color to match the new roll I got, and then put on a different hat. So like the red one, like Premier Ball, the red one was Communist Pikachu, the purple one was Royal Pikachu, and then I got pink, and I decided to actually draw Pikachu in the Pop Star outfit that it gets in Gen 4. And then one of the other people in the server asked me to draw his favorite Pokemon, Typhlosion, in the Pop Star outfit, so I did. I was going through a big lineless art kick. This is I made a cat out of origami, and then I drew it just as like a study. And yeah, I sold it as a sticker. I did a really good job on this. And most impressive, and oh, here's another important thing for drawing from real life. Do not draw from photos. Draw from the actual physical object standing in front of you. That's what I did for this. That's why it looks so nice realistic, because it was right in front of my eyeballs. I wasn't looking at a camera's interpretation of it. I was interpreting it with my own two eyeballs, which is a very good thing to do. Oh my gosh! I forgot about these! Yeah, so Twilight I have a frog squishmallow. Hi everyone! Welcome back, I hope you're doing well. But yeah, Twilight has a green squishmallow frog that she uses as her bed, so I drew her with it. This is Twilight Lurk that I use as emotes in my previous streaming attempts. This is fan art of Mizuki Akiyama. I don't know how I came up with this, I just drew it like that. This is probably the best ear I've ever drawn, and the best nose I've ever drawn. Like, yeah. Like, look at this nose, dude! Look at this nose, dude! And this ear it got covered up by the hair, but definitely. So the server I ran got popular, and people started designing, versions of the Vocaloids based off of, also my signature was really cute, based off of, like, the theming of my server, which was mostly after the Power Can item from Project Sekai. So I drew them in, like, I drew them as, like, Sailor Moon characters. I designed this one. Um, uh, shoot, what was her name? Crip. She was named after a type of mushroom. Designed the Miku, and I cannot remember off the top of my head who designed the Reen, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you can see I really like this dress shape. Oh, I wonder how you'd be able to tell that I like that dress shape. What? Anyway. Oh, this is fan art for the song ID Smile. Which is a song about, again, Mizuki Akiyama. Guess who my favorite Project Sekai character is, being conflicted about telling her, her friend that she has a crush on, that she's trans, because she feels like she can't pursue, yay, chibi time! She feels like she can't, she can't pursue a romantic relationship with Aina without telling her that she's trans, but she's also worried that she'll ruin everything. And so, yeah, this half is basically what the actual cover is, and then on this side, I graded out, removed all of the decorations and stuff, just kind of like shows a conflict between kind of the two sides of her. The side of herself that isn't getting to actually express who she is, but she wasn't really getting to actually express who she is because she's scared of giving things up, and the part of herself that wants to reveal itself but is in hiding. And then this hand is more wrapped up to show that it's more in control. I cooked with this, and it's in the style of the original cover. Yeah, I cooked with that. Anyway, I just drew this. It has no reference. It's not a reference to anything. I just felt like drawing something in primary colors, and then I put a bunch of filters on it. Yeah. That's it. I felt like drawing someone in a weird pose, so I did. Later, I named her Iris. Some people know why that's funny. Others of you don't. I did a really good job drawing this dress. That's a little mascot I drew, who I named Echo. Oh, this is the lettering I did for Medi. I made like a little logo, so these are the ram horns make the M. And then, these are existing fonts that I wrote over. Say that again? Yeah! No, out of curiosity, do you normally post your mods? I do! Oh, this is a Miku that's based off of the jellyfish from Stardew Valley. At the end of summer, you have the jellyfish dance, and most of the jellyfish you see are these pink ones, but there's one special green jellyfish that you can see. And I was like, you know who else is green with pink accents? Hatsune Miku! So yeah, I drew her. I really like the way I drew like the hip dips and stuff, like the low set hips. I wish I made the ankles thicker to kind of match up with the flipper anatomy, but it's not like it's real, so LOL. Very, very proud of this one. It's a very simple design, but it's very, very cute. This is me. I'm a Mimikyu in my brain, and my friend Eli, who's a white boy in his brain. I just drew me and my friend Eli. Let's see. This is an art trade that I did. Because I had just finished reading I'm the Grim Reaper, and I love the character Brooke. And I love the character Brooke, and so I met someone else on Twitter that also really liked Brooke, and so we had the idea of picking our favorite, like, outfits from, and we also both really like K-pop, so we picked our favorite, like, K-pop stage outfits, and then had the other person draw Brooke in them. So this is from ATEEZ's 2022 Mama Awards performance. And I gave him a big bow because I felt like it. LOL. You can see this is part of me developing my current, like, chibi, or not this chibi, but, like, the way I draw, this is right after Project Voltage released, the Miku Pokemon collab. I'm very proud of because everyone has to at least once in their art career draw Miku with her hand sticking out like that, and I hadn't done it yet. But yeah, I'm really proud of this hand here, and, all the little details. I wish that I made the outline for the teeth gray, and that I also, but keeping this outline color black actually was pretty necessary. And yeah. Really good drawing. I'm so very proud of this. This is the first ever drawing I did in this art style that I currently use that you can see on my VGen and stuff. This is the very first one that I ever did. I think I want to draw hands like this more often where they're very, very tiny. Yeah. But as you can see, hey Anthemon, welcome into the art show. We're going through my digital portfolio. But yeah, as you can see, I didn't use colored line art as much as I do now. Tiny hands are just cute. They are. So yeah, and like you can even see once we get to this drawing, I did this one after that one, I start using a lot more colored line art. Oh, this is a Jingyuan lock screen that I drew for Medi's birthday, Christmas gift? Question mark? I don't remember. But yeah, just Jingyuan wearing a cute little vest. I cooked on this sleeve. I cooked on this sleeve and I cooked on this shirt collar. It's a little hints of yellow because of the light bouncing off of his hand. I don't think there was a reason. I think I just wanted to draw something and I couldn't think of anything and I was like, you. Oh yeah, and then also the light of the sleeve bouncing off of the hand. I did so good on this. Also, drawing his hair was a huge pain in the ass. Thank you, Hoyoverse. This is my logo that I actually still don't quite like. I will figure it out though. Oh, this is my old ref sheet. This is what my hair was initially designed to be like. Obviously that changed, the back of the hair, but the side tails and the overall, like, kind of vibes stayed very much the same. Yeah, and then also cause someday, in case I ever commission an artist or one of you guys ever wants to draw me in a casual outfit, I detailed how the way that my model looks, like, you know, like this, like, the shape of my shape would change significantly if you drew me, like, in, like, sweatpants or something, like my character in sweatpants or something, so, I included that little set of notes so people can know. This is a channel points commission that I did. Skulls and Roses. Very cool. Very, very cool. These are Medi's channel points, which are shards of glass. And then here's Medi. Oops. Oh, this is Ollie. Ollie is one of my best friend Sammy's elderly dog. He passed away. And so they asked me to draw him so that they had a little thing to remember him by. He was the sweetest baby girl dog I ever knew, and he was a grumpy old man, and I loved him. But yeah, as you can see, we have Medi here. We have details about color choices, what colors match to what, notes about how, like, the oval squishes out instead of in. Same thing with the eye shine. Very detailed concept notes. Note, yeah, that the moons must be facing each other, and of course the note that got me a laugh on there was like a ref sheet review stream that Medi submitted to, and they got a kick out of this note. She is fat. Do not draw her skinny. I will be in her walls. And yeah, and then also note that she has a pear shape, not an hourglass shape. So, like, her waistline, like, lines up with her bust as opposed to being lower down. So, like, you know, because you can't really tell when she's wearing the sweater. But, you know, you can when you draw her in any other outfit. So I included that note, and then also notes about dermatillomania, where all of her scars are, even the ones that don't show, under her clothes and stuff. So yeah, and then yeah, also, like, her hair isn't hair, it's wool. So, you know, if you draw her, don't draw her with, like, flyaways and stuff. That's Ollie. Oh yeah, and then Sammy's favorite color is purple, so I put him in purple. That's my channel points icon. This is Pichu. When I was going for, why did I draw this as a 3 instead of a heart? Whoops. When I was going for, VGen verification, which requires 5 reviews, I put my chibi things on sale, and Z commissioned me to draw, them and Pichu. Little chibi profile pictures. I'm very proud of this, although Pichu has since changed her design. This is a Reen thing. So, because Reen wanted to start streaming before I was done with his model, and so he asked me to make him a Fugi. So, I drew him just like a chibi little fooey. So this is him gaming. This is him just sitting there. This is him talking and gaming. This is him talking and sitting there. Very, very cute. That's Z's profile picture. I am very proud of the way I did this hair. Freedom from ads. Welcome in, Emerald. And that's it. So, well, I mean, then obviously we have our, oh my gosh, where is it? Hello. But yeah, obviously I've done, I did a commission for, Willow, where I drew his, Project Sekai OCs. Okay. Anyway, but, you can see all of that on my VGen. Nope. No. But you can see the rest of my portfolio that I've done, like, on my VGen, like, all the recent things. I wanted to go ahead and, as part of the stream, show the stuff that you maybe haven't seen. Now, are you guys ready for the thing that you've been waiting for? Are you guys ready to see Basil, Maddie, Yowie? Because I'm ready to show it. Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and pull it up. You guys, this
Let's
is
SMINCH ho.
This is the silliest thing I've ever made, but the crazy part is I unironically did kind of good at it. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yowie.
3. I love that you guys can make my cat say yowie now. My therapist, Seme Basil can't hurt you. Seme Basil isn't real. She can't hurt you.
Pure perfection.
So for people who don't recognize this is Hot Yowie Base from DeviantArt. It is a meme, and it's cause yeah, this is what Yowie be looking like from Yowie from the 90s and early 2000s be looking like. I tried to hit the perfect, like, thing between, like I put effort into it, and it's actually interesting because I had to put effort into drawing poorly in a way that, like, matched the template, but, when I was drawing the hair, I went into autopilot when I was drawing the curl, and I drew, like, an actually really well-done curl. So there's a single really well-done curl, and the other ones are shitty on purpose. So, me, the rest of the group project. And also, I wasn't able to finish it on time, which is a bummer. But I did start another one, because this is another meme that you see on a lot, but it's the one where it's the guy with the giant shoulders and the teeny tiny head holding the blonde twink in dramatic lighting. I didn't finish it, but I did start it. Can you put it in the Medi Art Gallery? Please do. But yeah, I did start it. Amethyst is hi, Amethyst. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So, for those of you who've been wondering what I've been doing while I'm not streaming, I've been drawing this of me and my best friend, and completely re-rigging my model. And also I made a maid dress. That's, because I don't, have you not seen the original? Because I've seen this meme floating around, that's why I picked it. Hang on. Hang on, you guys can see my search history is literally Yowie meme. Yeah, it's this one. Me and Twin with the teacher tries to separate us. Wide, very wide. But yeah, in the original, it's very dramatic, it's scary and horny. So yeah, guys, do with this what you will. Actually, you know what? I should post this to the Discord. Let me post the. Here it is. Yeah. So that is the art show proportion done, and we've done all of our debuts. So, because some people have filtered in since before, for people who missed it, we have a cat who can speak. You can make her say things. Please be reasonable with the things that you make my cat say, okay? She's just a little guy, okay? So please respect her little guy status. And then so we have a chibi toggle, and that chibi toggle as you guys saw a sneak peek of this earlier, but the chibi toggle varies. So we can go full chibi, we can go, I think it looks best right about here. But yeah, so that's what I mean in the chibi redeem when I say, like, let me know on a scale of 0 to 10. This is 0, this is 10. And everything works. The physics, everything, the physics all fairly works, all the mouth expressions, the full head turn, yeah, everything is completely functional at every decimal point, from here to there. So that is something I'm very, very proud of. But yeah, we'll put her back to 7. Let's see, so there's that, and then we have, oh, actually, let me turn it off first. So we not only have the maid toggle, but I also added a little extra physics feature where I bounce at I bounce when my toggle changes, so boink, boink. I'm very proud of that. It took way more work than it should have. And then the same thing happens when I switch to knave. Motherfucker, that's not correct. What, was it not Alt-K? Oh, wait, no, wait. The main toggle doesn't work with the... Yeah. So that's me. I mean, that's Knave. And yeah, Knave has her own, like, toggle on our, full toggle on our model now, so she will be Stardew streaming soon. Thank you guys for being patient as we kind of work out the best way for different alters to stream, because, Orion does eventually want his own model, but, like, he, Echo, Freya, like, a bunch of people are just more comfortable popping up on stream, period, with the model that we have being kind of like a default base for all of us. But Nave in particular just found herself just not feeling right with the model, even though she likes how it looks and does feel it represents us as a whole well. So we went ahead and gave her her own dress and her own hair and stuff. And then obviously we have our chibi toggle, and then yeah, so we have, yay! Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. So, thank you guys for hanging around while I basically just show off. Unironically appreciate it very, very much. So, let's see. Next, we have our tier. Okay, so here's the thing. I call it a tier list, but actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna yap about my friends. Outfit change. Yippee. Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually see. A stupid idea. Alright, so this is gonna be the world's shittiest tier list. Okay, hang on. Medi, Janie, Willow, Riker, Chaos, Reen. Also, does anyone here... Is Kawhi managed to make it look good when it shrinks and enlarges? Right? Oh my god, it took so much work. It took so much work. It was so hard, but it was so worth it. If you guys want me to show you what that looks like in Live 2D again, let me know, because it is pretty interesting. But it's just so well, such a short amount of time. Live 2D edition goes hard. It does go very hard, and thank you. Hang on. Medi, Janie, Willow, Riker, Chaos, Reen. Who else? Also, does anyone else want to be in the tier list? I am rating you by your ability to get me picked up from... Oh, Hugh, duh. On my ability to get... Your ability to get me picked up from the airport. And I say that specifically because some of y'all don't drive, so I will instead rate you on, like, what do I think you'll do then? Currently I have Hugh, Medi, Janie, Riker, Willow, Chaos, and Reen. One question for driving. Does it have to be legally driving? No! Not at all! I'm rating you on what, or I guess I'm more so just spouting out bits But fuck it, us, let's go! Okay, so, and then I want to add a window capture. Select window. Google. Oh, no. Uh-oh. I wanted it to just show the list. LOL. This is gonna be a really... So yeah, it's not even a tier list. It's just me yapping. I mean, I could put them in an order. Okay, so. Here is our list. Where do I put this shit? Here it is. Here is our, as of recent developments, I'm technically able to drive by like a month. Ooh! Okay, so. Let's get yapping. Oh wait. Who will get me a ride from the airport? Okay, so. I did mostly put this in a random order, but I'm actually gonna keep Hyun at the top. I think Hyun would probably be the most organized, like, ride from the airport that I could get. You know what I mean? I feel like I could be the only lower card feels like I don't know. LOL. Yeah, I know you're lighthearted, but I'm still gonna change it. I feel like Hyun would be the simplest and the most reliable. I think that I can just text Hyun, I'm gonna be in Mexico and at this airport at this time, can you give me a ride? And she just say yes or no. And she'd pick me up at the time she says she's gonna pick me up. Now, Medi and Janie would get me a ride from the same person. It would be Janie's mom, or like an Uber or something. But here's the thing. So then, but if it's Janie's mom, so these three I'm keeping in the order they're at. The question being, hey, Aaron, why the fuck did you put Medi above Janie when it's Janie's mom that would be giving you the ride? I think that I can rely on Medi to reach out to Janie's mom more than Janie. Specifically about this, not in general. Janie wouldn't look at her text. Janie would miss that I'm going to Minnesota. So like, I would need to communicate through Janie's mom through Medi. And then Janie's mom would be like, oh, your friends from Virginia's coming? And Janie'd be like, haha, yeah. Hey, Medi, what? I say this with love. So yeah, it is not, again, it's about the efficiency, not just about the relation. But it is close, because because the problem isn't getting Janie to, mostly isn't getting Janie to reach out, because if I was having the conversation with her, she just texts her mom in front of me. The problem is getting in touch with her directly. I mostly talk to Janie through Medi. Like, not because we're not friends on our own, but just because our ADHDs. Medi is, like, the perfect conduit between our ADHDs. So, like, okay, so Willow, I have spent a weird amount of time thinking about this, right? Because you have Riker and Chaos to ask, and I'm sure if you ask them, both of them wouldn't mind, but, like, we do be unemployed, so I'm worried that our planning would not... I worry that our planning would fail to accommodate their actual work schedules. And then, yeah, you told me you were learning to drive, so I was like, would Willow ask their dad to just be in the car while they drive me to and from the airport? Like, rather than asking, like, your mom or your dad to pick me up, or, like, one of your friends to pick me up, it's like, would you have someone sit in the car to supervise you because you're driving on a permit, not a license? That mental image was really funny, because, I mean, that's what you do in high school, is you go and pick up your friends. You're like, oh yeah, I'll pick you up. By the way, my dad's gonna be in the back seat. So I'm gonna put you, like, below Riker and Chaos, because here's the thing. I think... No, I made that joke. I was like, just get to the airport without getting stopped by traffic, and then I will be your supervisor. Because I'm an adult above the age of 21 that has a driver's license. So yeah, I'm gonna put you below Riker in Chaos, because... Not because I don't think that not because I think you're less reliable than either of the two, it's because I think that how you're going to actually do it will be a surprise. And that makes me nervous. I'm not into Has-Been Hotel, sorry. I appreciate it as a project. However, I'm not gonna do it now because there are people that really like Has-Been Hotel and I don't want to yuck their yum, but I get kind of snooty about it. I'm so sorry. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that are big fans of Has-Been Hotel complain about, and they're so valid in doing so, but I just am. Let's see. Okay, so, and then I actually couldn't, because here's the thing with deciding between Riker and Chaos, right? Like, Riker, like Riker is online less. Like, I get in contact, like, through Discord with Riker less than I get in contact with Chaos. But that's because, but the thing is, that means that Riker is doing outside real life, like, traveling around, going places more, so it's like, should I rate Riker higher because he has more, like, he, like, just kind of spends more time out and about? Or should I rate Chaos higher because I would probably be able to get in contact with him, like, faster? You know? I guess it also, though, depends on, like, the setting. Is it like, hey, my connecting flight to blah 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 got canceled and now I'm stuck in California, as opposed to, like, a planned trip. I think if the trip was planned ahead, both of you would be tied. I think in an emergency, I'd be able to get into contact. Because the prompt isn't who would pick me up. The prompt is who would get me picked up. I think that if I were in a crazy fantasy emergency situation, I think if I were to get a ride from Riker, it would be from me texting Willow or Chaos, and then Riker being like, I can do that. In my completely made up scenario that would never happen. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That's actually true. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put Riker in between Chaos and Willow, with an asterisk next to Willow of, like, work a job that allows me to leave work at any time. Oh! So maybe that leaves you at a dead tie with Chaos, then. I think that leaves you at a dead tie in terms of who would get me picked up from the airport, because you can just leave. Yeah, I'm gonna actually put you guys at a tie. And I'm gonna have Willow below you, but with an asterisk, because Willow, as my fellow unemployed baddie, would be able to, like, conduct these exchanges. Oh, cute! Thank you, Cypher! But yes, chibi, non-chibi, maid, no maid. It's very cute. And he's actually fairly on timely responding on Discord DMs, but I don't know who you would text first of the two. Gotcha. Actually, no, yeah. I guess oh, you know what? You're right. I've mostly talked to Riker through servers and group chats, not just individual DMs. You're so right. Okay, yeah, so I'll leave them at a dead tie then. Sorry for slandering your DM response, Riker. I know you don't actually mind, but lol, it's funny. Reen. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. I'm putting Reen at a negative. Because here's the thing. Reen is visiting the US, and he is going to have a stop by in Virginia, and we're planning on hanging out, or we've talked about hanging out. We haven't actually planned it. I don't know if I actually will be able to, because it'll be during, like, holiday season, so I don't know if I'll have time. But I would be picking him up from the train station for this hangout to happen. So, like, I'm putting him at a negative. Oh my god, you can't even see him anymore. I'm gonna be putting him at a negative, because I'm going to be, if one of us picks up the other, it will be me. So I'm putting him at a negative. Love you, Reen. Well, actually, I guess I'm putting him at, wait, hang on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do United States Reen, and then I'm gonna put, United Kingdom Reen, like, I'm gonna put UK Reen, like, here. Because, like, tied, because, like, he also has a car. He works nights, so he'd be able to, like, pick me up during the day. Hey, use. Guys, that's fucking Hitalia. That's not how Hitalia works. Anyway, okay. So yeah, that is the people that I had planned. Emerald, I have questions for you. Do you have a license? Are you in the United States? How long have you been driving? Do you have a car? And what's your work schedule like? Because those are all the things that have come up during the streams as I've rated the other people, so it is relevant. As stupid as that sounds. In the meantime, yeah, it is really funny because Janie's mom did pick me up and drop me off from the train station when I visited Meddy and Janie. And it was really funny because on the way home, she was like, yeah, so what led to this trip? And I was like, well, we've been online friends for 5 years. And I said this to Janie's mother, and I meant it. And I was like, and I kind of figured, you know, if they have spent the past 5 years conning me in order to steal my organs, I think I should give it to them. You know, like, fair enough. Like, you guys put a lot of work into this, have them. And I mean that. I'm like, you know, if you spend that, like, that's also how I feel about, like, that's why I don't, like, I feel like if somebody, like, through my window snuck naked pictures of me or something and posted them on the internet, I'd be devastated and I'd be like, I'd feel violated, but part of me would kind of be like, you know what? You put in the work for those. There would be a really weird part of me that feels like I should give them credit, even though I definitely shouldn't, because that's a horrible thing to do. Does that make sense? Anyway, you're in the United States, you don't work, you don't have a license. I do know how to drive, and I know to drive, but to keep from getting in trouble, I've never drove on public roads. Ooh. Okay, never having driven on public roads. Okay. Emerald, I do not think you're the type of person that would let their first foray into public roads be to an airport, because that's a lot. That's a lot. Airport parking lots are terrifying. So I am going to say that if you were driving, then I would say that you wouldn't be picking me up from the airport. Now, do I think you would get somebody else to pick me up? I guess I don't know enough about your personal life. Jenny says your TV looks good. Thank you, Jenny! You look really good. I don't know enough about your personal life for that. So I am going to I'm actually going to leave you here as with a question mark. All right, my friends. Here are the people that are going to, she says thank you, I know, hell yeah. But yeah, this is the list of people that would get me from the airport. And BRBO. Oh no. I got hiccups, sorry. Anyway. Alright, my friends, so we have done our checklist, but, our people who I was talking about art stuff with, would you guys like to see some of the, me kind of, actually doing some of the things that I was talking about? Like, oh, you could do this, and blah, 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 blah. Of course you do. Kidding. Mostly. Okay, so you can do this on pen and paper. Actually, I would argue that for the line, for the practicing, line confidence, I would say that it's best for you to do this on pen and paper first, but I'm going to show you digitally just because it's easier than trying to, set up a hand cam. Let me get, because here's the thing, so the reason that drawing on, digital is such a difficult transition, even for people who are really, really good at traditional art, is because when you are drawing on paper, you're working against friction, right? Not only of the pencil against the paper, but also the pen against the paper, which is also being pushed against the desk underneath you, or the rest of the sketch pad, like the other layers of paper underneath it. Screens do not have any give. Papers do. You can indent paper. So I personally, a lot of people say that you should not start with stabilization and that you should, eventually learn to get steady lines. But, I don't think, even this you can, I don't think I think that can be worthwhile, but for most people, I'd say just kick your stabilization up to like 10, 15, and just accept that help. And because to me, this makes up for the stabilization. This to me, about 10 to 15 is the equivalent of the stabilization that you get from the friction of the paper in the desk or the paper underneath on your sketch pad or something. That's my opinion. Now, something you can do to practice confident line strokes is set up a bunch of dots, and you have to connect them. So here you can see that and then again, like, actually stop and take a minute and take note of exactly where your mistake was, right? Here I started, so, like, some people might only look at, like, this is my starting dot and this is my ending dot. Some people might only look at the ending dot and go, oh, I undershot it, so my angle must have been too wide this way. But then if you look at my starting dot, you can see I started the same distance below my starting dot as I ended below my ending dot. So actually my problem wasn't the end point, which is what a lot of people think of as the problem. My problem was that I didn't set myself up to start correctly. So, oops. So and see, this time I did both. I did overshoot this way as well as starting too far below. So, yeah. So, like, I'm setting my pencil here, I'm setting my eyes on this, and I'm not blinking, and I'm sweeping my whole arm across my tablet, and I keep missing, and that's okay. And we're just gonna sit here, and we're just gonna practice connecting the lines. Yay! Yay! And then I keep rotating my canvas, but you actually don't want to do that. And just keep practicing. You want to practice pulling, pushing, pulling being down, pushing being up, and swiping. And swiping, which is left to right, so, you know. As you can see, my line confidence is not perfect. So, you know, this isn't me being like, guys, I'm such an expert. This is from a fellow person that is learning. Now, what I was talking about with, how when you draw from a real picture, you are interpreting, blocks of values into lines, because there's no lines in real life. It's because, you know, when you draw an eye in line art, a lot of the time people find that it's best to not, it generally looks better for you to not draw, a fully connected lines around everywhere, right? Like, that looks more realistic of an eye than this does, right? It looks more natural, it accommodates for more things, it just generally looks better. And the reason that is because in real life, an eye doesn't have these lines at all. They are, it's like, you'll notice that I'm fully scribbling. I'm not drawing singular lines. I'm kind of scribbling in values, such that if this were blowing up, I would have to color in, like, a whole thing, right? Actually, maybe I can just draw, like, a giant eye using the scribbling motion, right? Can I? That's an awesome question. But, like, you know, you get, I'm not explaining this very well. Oh, you know what? Let's do it this way. It can be a little easier to see my point if I use, like, a paintbrush instead of a pencil or a pen, because those, you kind of look at that and you see them as drawing lines, even if I'm doing, like, scribbling motions to imply that that's not what I want to be doing. But, you know, a block of a dark tone, a block of a mid-tone, and then this block that is the eyelid, is in great contrast to the one above it, because that is, like, the crease of your eyelid, and then the crease of your eyelid also diffuses a little bit because it's a fold in the skin. Anyone else think it's weird that Ludwig was in this music video? Anyway. And then, I don't know, let's draw it without eyelashes to start, right? But, like, you can see here that I am blocking in, I'm just blocking in big blocks of, like, big blocks in shapes. You know, I'm not drawing any actual lines. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? It's just occurred to me that I've not tried to talk about this as I'm actively drawing at the same time, so maybe I should have prepared examples instead of trying to draw them as I'm talking about them. LOL, my bad. Yes. Lines are a suggestion. Put in my big art. Yeah. But, like, see here where I have kind of these two layers of lines, the top and the bottom, that's because there's a fold of skin that's right here that, there's a fold of skin here, right, that is typically able to be seen even when you're facing quote-unquote straight on, that has thickness to it. And so if you were to draw it fully in shapes, there would be a subtle shadow all the way around. Actually, subtler than that. There would be a subtle shadow all the way around it. But the shadow is really only super visible on the edges here, right? And so that's why when I draw line art, you see me go boop. Oh wait, oops. You see me go like this. Oh my gosh, stop erasing! You see me go like this. You know what I mean? So that kind of, I hope that kind of helps to explain kind of the difference between drawing out the forms, or using big blobs of values being just dark to light, versus interpreting them into lines. Yeah. Yeah, understanding of proportion. Okay, so this is the one. Hey guys, I have a really bad confession to make. I've never done the cubes exercise. I've never done the thing where you draw all the cubes at all the different perspectives. I really should. You should, like, every artist should definitely do this at least once. I just haven't. But, like, it's fine. It's fine. Instead I just brute force figure out everything I draw. But yeah, like, a common exercise is to draw cubes at all sorts of angles, where, you know, little by little, different portions of the cube are shown as it shifts up or down or left to right. This was messing me up earlier. So, the problem is a lot of people don't quite understand what this exercise is meant to be teaching them. And the reason I haven't actually done that is because I was trying to draw stacked books at different angles. So when you, let's think of, like this one here. This is just the cube rotating left to right, side to side, right? So let's imagine this from a bird's eye view, okay? Where the center, so this is the top of the cube, and this is going to be the center of our circle that it's rotating, and it's rotating by 360 degrees. When a cube rotates, and we're not moving it up to down, even though it's implied that it would be, if I were to draw a box around each of these squares, the box would show up like this in this circle, but we're gonna ignore the lateral movement there. This is where the viewer is, right? Little silly looking icon. This is where the viewer is for the first cube. What is happening is for the second viewpoint, the viewer moves here, right? And so, or you can see it as the cube rotates, let's say this much. I think that the one that's a little easier to understand would actually be the pink one. So, now, this is where we start getting into math. I'm so sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually move the cube to be like this, and then the one that we are looking at sits like this. And we need that little ghost cube to be there. So, when things rotate in a circle, you notice that, like, in these rings, right? You notice that there have these rings. Now, this gets rotated, I think that's about 30 to 40 degrees. Let's say this is 40 degree rotation, right? Everything in this cube has rotated 40 degrees. But the problem is that if we take 40 degrees out of each of these circles, I'm going to use green to mark each arc. This is 40 degrees, this is 40 degrees, this is 40 degrees. All of those green lines are 40 degrees, but not all of them are the same length, right? The further away it gets from the center, when things move further away from the when things are further away from the center of a circle, even if it moves at the same rate, the same number of degrees from another thing that's further inside of the circle, laterally, physically, it will move a further distance. It will move a further distance even though it is moving the same number of degrees. And so because of that, you'll notice that, like, this corner of the these corners, like, kind of mostly move almost straight left to right, right? Whereas these have an actual, like, lateral, well, actually, hang on, this corner would actually be closer to here. Whereas these have a much more lateral movement, and you can see that that's because this arc is so small, and this arc is so much bigger than it. So, what you are practicing when you're doing this is understanding that this face, or actually, hang on, I'll use a different color. What you're demonstrating is that you understand that this face is this face that's the furthest away from the center of the grid, so it will be moving faster or further than everything else. And that's the same thing that I was talking about when I scribbled over, oh, it's not still here, that I scribbled over with Medi's drawing when I was explaining how when my banks turn, because they're not a flat object, they don't stretch out like this, the way that you would expect them to. They stretch out kind of the opposite way, you know? Because if I were to draw my bangs on this little diagram, I would probably draw them... Like, if I drew them the way that Medi interpreted them, it would be like this. And then when they rotate, it would just be like this. But the way that they actually are is like this. And so when they rotate, they look like this, and they look like this, but then when you... Oh, this is the cool part. When you do this, they look like that, but then when you do this, it goes like... Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, you can... Because, again, the viewer is seeing things flat from this POV. So the way that you would use this as this, like, rotation thing as a tool to interpret it into this image over here is by taking this back to the viewer's viewpoint. Or at least that's what I do when I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck will this VTuber model look like when it's rotating? is I kind of imagine what it would look like from a bird's eye view, and then I use that as kind of my side-to-side reference. Like, I would take, oops. I would take this portion, and then, you know, rotate it 90 degrees, and then, again, you can see that if I use these as references for drawing the pangs, then this would be the head-on one, so you would get the default pose. But then if I used this pink one, then you would get the... Oops. Hello? And if I use the pink one, you would get the new perspective where it... you know, that's how those things connect to each other. Now that I've done it once, do you guys want me to try to show you this in a more neat way that maybe is a little more intuitive, because I'm not actively figuring out how to describe it as I'm describing it? Oh my god, I'm doing the thing my calculus teacher did in high school! Except I have an excuse, because I was not hired by the county to teach teenagers how to learn fucking calculus! Would you like me to try showing this to you again, or do you kinda get it? I do not mind showing you again, because I think it's cool. Ba, 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 ba. Kinda get it, but not fully. Okay. So, we have... Let me start in black. So we have a cube. We have a cube. We want to draw as a cube rotating. So, we now, let's see, and then, let's call this the x-axis, and this the y-axis, and then, you know, the other way, the z-axis, but you can't really see it. Then we will draw it from a bird's eye view. You'll draw it from a bird's eye view. But like here, the viewer is right in front of the cube. We are going to station the viewer right here. So this is where the viewer is looking at the cube from. This is where the viewer is sitting. I should make that cube smaller. Ah! This is where the viewer is sitting. So now the x-axis is here. So now the x-axis... Ah! Stop using the selection tool, use the fucking pen! So now the x-axis is still here, but now this is the z-axis. And then the y-axis just runs straight up and down towards where is the bird's eye. Is the bird's eye, but this is the person's eye that's sitting in front of this cube. I'm overcomplicating that explanation, but I think you still understand what I'm saying. Ignore most of the words I'm saying. If you think you know what it means, then you're right. We're like, this is cube head on, this is cube from above. Ah! Okay. Now, if we imagine this cube, if we break this up into circles, just to kind of help us understand how when the cube rotates, it's in degrees, right? The cube rotates in degrees. And because of that, this portion of the cube, because it's so close to the center, this portion of the cube from middle of the thing to middle of the thing doesn't move all that much, but from corner to corner, it moves a lot more. Like, you can just see that this distance is smaller than this distance, because the corner of the cube is further away, creates like a larger circle and therefore has a longer arc than the center of the cube, which is like directly in the center. Like this is a shorter distance than this. Maybe we don't need the circle part, actually. Hang on. No, actually, well, that part is helpful, but it's more like auxiliary. You don't necessarily need it for this part. And then, in addition to that, let's move our cube up so that the center of the circle is all the way in the back of the cube instead of the center of the cube, right? We can, and then we drag the guideline to the viewer. So this is the viewer's like 2-dimensional viewpoint. You can see that it goes just like this. And so that's how we end up drawing just a square, because none of the other corners have a line that doesn't either overlap it or end up behind it. So that's how we end up with just our normal cue for what the viewer draws. Then, if we, in pink, because it's fun, rotate our cube. Not a totally accurate size, but it's okay. Rotate our cube. Then we will notice that, you know, to us, we can still tell that all 4 sides are, like, equal and everything looks fine. But to the viewer, this has moved this much, but this has moved that much. Again, the part that's furthest away from the circle moves a lot more than the part that's closest to the center of the circle. And if we trace those lines down to the viewer, then you can see that we get this shape where so the viewer would end up seeing a cube that looks like that. Right, I do pick up what you're putting down. Okay, good! Yay! Okay. I'm so sorry if other people don't understand. This is actually a good lesson, and I don't know if I've seen it put exactly this way. I will try my best to, like, reformat this so it makes more sense at a later date if anyone isn't quite getting it, but is interested in what the fuck I'm trying to say. And so, using this bit, and then, you know, let's rotate it even further, right? We can see that the corner, like, so we've rotated the difference between the green and the pink square is the same number of degrees from the, as the blue and the pink square. But when we draw our lines that go straight down, you'll notice that they don't quite do the same thing. Like, oh gosh, this is getting crowded. But, so, in this case, the blue and the pink, the difference is only this. Wait, no, sorry. In this case, so this pink line is brand new. This pink line is brand new. This line and this line are the same edge of the cube. And the difference between this blue edge moved a lot, this blue edge moved a little bit less. Because it receded in depth. Like, this edge came forward a lot, but this corner went backwards. So, when you flatten the image to a 2D plane, it looks like it's moving less. This is actually a very useful way to think of things for Live 2D when you're using the 3D rotation tool. Yeah, because this corner moves forward, but this corner moves backwards. One of them has more X movement than the other one. When something moves closer to the viewer and as it rotates, it has more movement on the X-axis. When something moves further away from the viewer, as it rotates, because of its rotation, it has less movement on the X-axis. Yeah, and then you'll notice that these two lines are the same edge of the cube, these two edges are the same line of the cube, and these two edges are the same line of the cube. So it does have, and then in comparison, this is the old movement that this front-facing edge took, right? you'll notice that it moves even less. It has that stretch effect. Yes! But you'll see that it moves even less, even though it's rotating the same amount. It has less X movement. It is not a 1-to-1 where you can just like copy, like, this is blue, and then this is pink, and then then you just go, oh, well, this is green. So now my cube will look like this. It looks a little off compared to, it's not bad, but it does look a little bit off compared to this. Actually, it just doesn't really look like it rotated. Compared to this. Like, this just feels more correct. And that's because this form takes into account that this corner is getting further away from the viewer, whereas this one, the corner doesn't get further away, but it needs to. That makes sense? I see. Yeah! Okay, you get it. Okay. It does make sense. Yes! Okay. And so, in Live 2D, they have a feature called the 3D rotation tool, which is where, as long as you can make a good X head turn, it will be able to generate the Y head turn for you. And so the question is, like, how does it understand what the Y rotation would look like from you only creating the X rotation? And it's because the computer strictly uses these principles, where when you push something closer together, that tells the computer that it is receding on, this is the silly thing. I call it the z-axis in this diagram because that's correct to what most people do in real life, but this is the y-axis. The z-axis is the y-axis to Live 2D. The z and the y-axis swap according to Live 2D. So the computer operates by the principle that when you move things closer together, that is telling the computer that they recede on the y-axis, and when you move things further apart, they protrude on the y-axis, or they get closer to the viewer. So, if you will look at my head turn here, and I can show you the things that have been generated by the 3D rotation tool, you'll be able to see that, fuck, I didn't take my meds today! Ah, it's too late. It's midnight. And I actually am gonna be able to go to sleep in an okay time, I think. Oh, thank you for the posture check and the hydrate and the stretch. Oh! Ant Demon, you are the best! Oh, and the hydrate. Okay, now I can show you, like, how this actually gets applied, by a program, and how it subsequently kind of how you should apply it. So let's take a look at my my eye mask here, right? So, as you can see here, we have these green lines, and when I turn my head on the x-axis, this is the part that I manually rigged.
I have never told a lie. I speak the paraphrased word of God.
Average. Anyway, I had a joke, but I don't remember it. So, as you can see here, you can see where the distance between these two dots is a lot smaller than the distance between, like, these two. Can you even see my cursor? You can. Between these two dots. And so because of that, the computer knows that this section of the eye, where the dots have gotten pushed further apart, this part comes forward, and here at the edges of the face, they're close together, so the computer knows that that part recedes. So when I did not manually rig this. This was purely automatically generated by the computer. you can see that it knows to create this curved shape based off of what depth cues I gave it on the x-axis. Isn't that cool? And this is entirely done using these principles that we discussed with this funky little diagram. How do we feel, chat? Feel like your brain's melting, or do you feel like your brain's melting and you learned a little something, or do you just feel like your brain's melting? That's so effing cool. It is! It is! You feel hungry? But yeah, you know, because like when you initially look at the 3D tool, it feels a little bit like witchcraft. Like, how does it know that? But the thing is, it knows it. The computer knows it the same way that our eyeballs know it. And it stops being witchcraft when you understand the geometry behind it. So that's a big part of understanding perspective and proportion, is understanding that it's not just the side-to-side movement, it's also the movement front to back. It not only matters how far things are moving left to right, it also matters how much farther away things are moving from you, or how much closer things are moving from you. Because those two things will combine. Like, that's why the bangs move in a way that is counterintuitive for when it is flat, because the way that things move forward and back, as you can see from the little diagram we made, can kind of undo the effects that you expect when you only consider left to right movement. Something moving forward and backwards can kind of undo what you expect to see. Until you learn to expect it, because you understand how things recede and obtrude from objects. Yeah. You feel hungry? That's so valid. I'm also kind of hungry. I'm gonna have, my mom ordered in Chinese, and I have leftover lo mein, so before I go to sleep, I'm gonna eat some lo mein. Yeah, as it started, I am gonna go piss. Have fun. Is it Alt-S? Is that how I go to sleep? Yeah, except I still talk in my sleep. Oh my god, I can open my eyes when I sleep? That's not what I wanted it to. Anyway, wait. Also, I didn't realize this until I watched the VOD, but because of how I walk away, it made it look like I was, like, putting hella effort into peeing. So I gotta be careful with how I gotta make sure to walk away with a neutral face. There we go! some reason ad's been short as of recent. I wonder if they just have none. Oh my gosh. Maybe, to be honest. And yeah, it could not be you, and Demon. You two pretty perfect, valid, and amazing. Alright. So, yeah. TLDR. When you are rotating an object, there are multiple axes that you need to keep in mind. You need to keep in mind the difference between the difference in how it moves left to right or on the x-axis, but you also need to remember that how much it appears to move on the x-axis is affected by how it moves on the z-axis, or what Live 2D calls the... Anyway, because, you know, this corner, it goes back, this corner, it goes backwards, but this corner goes forwards, and that's relevant. So yeah, TLDR, that's my mathematical art lesson. And that's why my bangs swing around the way that they do. Oh my god, my hat is so dumb! I love my stupid hat physics. Look at my stupid hat physics! It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Alright. Well, my friends, that was a very good celebration. I am going to... does anyone else have any other questions? I think we went over everything that was on our little list, but I might be wrong. We had confident line practice. Oh, feet! Hey, Riker, are you still here? You want to talk about feet? Well, okay, I guess basically all I was going to say, I'm omniscient, I have no questions other than, what the fuck? Yeah. So, feet are actually okay to draw from the side angle, right? Because, you know, you got your toes, you got the ball of your foot, you have the heel of your foot, and then you have all the other stuff that connects it to the ankle. And that's easy enough. Drawing it from the front, though, is a lot harder. And the reason for that is because a lot of people forget that these things just line up from front to top. What a lot of people do is they think the top of the foot is flat, so I can't possibly need to draw a particularly tall object. The thing is, the reason it looks so flat is because this is like a 20-degree angle max, maybe up to 30. So it gives the appearance of being flat, but the reason it appears that flat is because it travels such a long distance. So when you draw feet from the front, it actually is quite a tall, like, cone. And then you have your toes, that kind of... Yeah. That's my little foot rant, is just remember, they're taller than you think they are. They're taller than you think they are, these are larger than you think you are. Than you think they are. Alright, so, I think that's a good place to... Okay, maybe that's not a good place to end our celebration, but that is a place to end our separation. So, to recap, my friends, we have a text-to-speech pet that wasn't working at the beginning of stream, but now it works. We have a chibi model, we have a non-chibi model, we have a maid dress, we have a normal dress, and I bounce a little bit when I switch, and I think that's very cute. And coming to a I Am Basilia channel near you, will be cozy streams done by Nave. Thank you too, Willow. You are absolutely amazing, and your art is so good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. I really, really extra appreciate you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Now, does anyone have any requests for who we raid? Otherwise, I am going to pick. This isn't a very good ending my stream song. Yeah! Ooh, we haven't rated Blair in forever. Kirin is streaming Peak again. Oh, you know who else we haven't rated in forever is Coley. Okay, do you guys... Okay, are your guys' vibes chill white guy or chaotic white girl? I think Blair's white. I've never checked. I'm pretty sure she is. Chill white guy or chaotic white girl? Pick. Somebody. These are the questions I ask my chat. Oh my god, Twilight's head is bigger than mine is right now. Chill? Alright. So we're gonna go visit my friend Coley Moley. He raided me once when I was streaming Stardew Valley, and I just appreciated his vibe so much that I kept popping in. So, please join me in saying hello. Please actually copy-paste my raid message, otherwise it gets awkward. Yeah, this night has been amazing. Thank you so much for celebrating my affiliate anniversary with me today and bearing witness to all of my, the work I've done over the past month. Yeah, made 2 new outfits, re-rigged my whole model. It was a lot, but it was very worth it. And it was worth it anyway, but you guys being so amazing tonight made it even more worth it. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for submitting things to the art show and for, listening to all of my feedback and all my ramps and info numps. And I actually might be back later tonight, either to do some rigging or maybe just game. But yeah, I kind of wanted to isolate the celebration to its own VOD. So, have fun, go hang out with Coley, enjoy his very, very chill vibes, and I will see you either later tonight or tomorrow. Good night, love you!